Welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Chapter 1 Swinging the Sword to Achieve Meaning. Hirayama Castle. Genwu C. Soldier Commander Compound. At this moment in this compound, there was a handsome young man who was swinging his sword steadily and steadily. I didn't see him making extra movements, he just kept swinging the 3-foot-long sword in his hand. It seems that he is just practicing the most basic sword swing. But this person is Pingshan City, Genwu C, the youngest soldier in charge, really need to practice this basic sword move. Su Yong kept swinging his sword. In the eyes of outsiders, he is just an ordinary sword swing, which is the most basic apprentice. But in his eyes, it was different. Every time he swings a sword, his sword proficiency will increase a little. And he also gained a foothold in this world because he could improve his sword intent by swinging a sword. With a thought, a virtual panel appeared in front of him. Only he can see this panel. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV10 975 10,000ths. Sword moves. None. Will of all beings. 0. He is a traveler from Blue Star, and it has been exactly 1 month since he traveled to this ancient world. He found this panel when he just traveled over. After some experiments, I also got a little understanding. This panel only helped him a little bit. Swinging the sword correctly could directly allow him to comprehend the sword intent, and the sword intent would continue to improve as he continued to swing in the future. In addition to the fact that swinging a sword can improve the sword, swinging other weapons cannot obtain the corresponding artistic conception. He understood the sword intent. But until now, he has no clue about sword moves and the will of all beings. Fortunately, the sword intent can already allow him to settle down. There is another point that Su Yong didn't understand. When he first came to this world, all Su Yong could see was one panel. But after he inherited the identity of his original owner's father, he can always see wisps of white gas floating in midair. Only he can see these gases, probably because of the panel. But so far, Su Yong has not figured out what is the use of these white gases. Just floating in midair, he can see it, but he can't reach it, touch it, and can't figure out what the gas does. Su Yong raised his head and glanced at the slowly floating white gas. Although I don't know what it's useful for, it doesn't have any effect on him. Su Yong guessed that it might be related to sword moves and the will of all beings. After all, these two are the only things he doesn't understand now. Currently, the sword intent of LV10 is capable of slashing through the air, and it is not a problem to split a human-high boulder with one sword. Although this world is an ancient world, it is a world where you can practice. There are warriors, there are monks, the lowest level of realm is 9, and the highest is 1. In Pingshan City, the strongest is the 7th rank. Su Yang's current strength has reached the 7th rank, and his pure sword intent makes his strength comparable to the 7th rank. This is also the reason why he was able to keep the identity left by the original owner's father. The status of the military envoy of the Junwu division is not a complete inheritance system, but the descendants can be inherited first, regardless of merit, but depends on strength. If the strength is not enough, the identity of the military envoy cannot be inherited. Being the military envoy of Pingshan Township requires 8th rank strength. Su Yong only showed 8th rank strength during the assessment. Shaking his head to shake off the distracting thoughts in his mind, he swung his sword with peace of mind. His sword swing does not mean slashing randomly, but only with the correct posture and the correct path to slash the sword, then his proficiency in sword intent will increase. According to his current speed, he can swing 4,000 swords in a day. It only took 2 days to improve the sword intent. Boom! A residence was kicked open with a bang. A group of members of the Li family rushed in. The person in the lead looked at the whole house even more arrogantly. In the courtyard, there are 2 people, one old and one young. The old man is about 60, and the young one is a woman who looks about 15 or 16 years old. When the woman saw someone barging in so arrogantly, she was immediately unhappy. Where are you from? Why are you so arrogant and unreasonable? Li Haitzi ignored it, just came to the old man, and said with a smile, Old Lu, I don't know what my 3rd son asked you to think about. Lu Kongshan's eyes were full of anger, but looking at these strong men, he could only suppress his anger. In broad daylight, you people dare to break into houses, are you afraid that the government will arrest you? You guys are really brave. Li Haitzi's smile disappeared immediately, and he said with a cold face, "Old man, I don't want to talk nonsense with you. Hand over the prescription or make medicine for my Lee family every day, otherwise you don't want your granddaughter to have an accident." As for the official, "Old man, you are no longer a 3-year-old child." Finally speaking, Li Haitzi smirked and looked at the woman who had just spoken. Although the woman was more courageous, she had never seen such a battle. She felt ashamed and annoyed for a while, wishing to tear Li Haitzi to pieces. After Lu Kongshan heard the words, the anger in his heart suddenly seemed to be poured with cold water, and he lost half of his anger. He also knew that the Li family's status in Pingshan City made it impossible for the government to help him. The government has long been wearing a pair of trousers with the Li family. Thinking of this, Lu Kongshan softened as if discouraged. After a moment of silence, he said unwillingly, "Okay." Said again, "I can't hand over the prescription." Li Haitzi didn't care when he heard the words, he laughed and said, "Okay, then I'll pick you up the next day. You can clean up now, don't think about running away, otherwise I don't know what will happen." Li Haitzi waved his hand and led the people away triumphantly. Lu Kongshan felt desolate in his heart, and the repressed anger rushed straight into his heart. His body couldn't help shaking twice, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. The woman hurriedly stepped forward to help her, her expression anxious. "Grandpa, are you okay?" Lu Kongshan took a few breaths before speaking, "It's okay. I can't die. It's just that this Li family is too bullying." Lu Yuro said in a deep voice, "Does the government not care about this kind of thing?" Yuro. Lu Kongshan wanted to say something, but in the end he didn't say anything, but changed his words, "From tomorrow onwards, you will refine medicine with me." After completing the task, Li Haitzi returned to the Li mansion. At this time, his appearance has also completed the transformation. He is no longer arrogant and domineering, but has become servile, and even when walking in Li's residence, his body is shorter. Going all the way, I came to a gorgeously dressed noble son. Bending down again, he said more respectfully. "Third young master, what you arranged has been done." Li Ming said casually, "Well, if you can't handle this trivial matter well, you don't have to come back. Let that old guy make medicine for me, otherwise there will be no way for his family to survive in Pingshan City. Third young master, don't worry, I will take good care of you." Li Haitzi nodded and bowed, obediently. Zhen Wuxi, Chun Fengtang is in charge of the military envoy compound. Su Yong is swinging his sword with peace of mind, wanting to continuously improve his strength. Although his strength is at the top level in Pingshan City, there are some people who are similar to him. Not to mention that the world is invincible, at least Pingshan City is invincible. He doesn't need anything to tie, he doesn't need anything to leapfrog to fight, what he needs is realm crushing. Just then, a sudden change occurred. The white gas has been floating in midair, and it seems to be touched at this time, and it keeps gathering. Soon part of it forms a white bead. The bead appeared in front of Su Yong like this. At the same time, the beads also carry a message. Open black lens bracket the will of all beings, eliminate evil close black lens bracket. Difficulty level, LV6. Introduction. Li Ming, the third son of the Li family in Pingshan City, bullied others, colluded with the government, and acted recklessly and domineeringly in Pingshan City. He would use various means to get what he liked. Complain. Requirement. Judgment of Li Ming. Reward. 1 to 6 strands of will of all beings. Rewards are determined according to the degree of completion. Bully. Nowhere to complain. In the compound, Su Yong paused after reading all the information, the sword in his hand stopped in the air, his pupils were constricting, and the memories he deliberately avoided in his previous life kept flashing. Painful memories are brought to light. It was a night. Parents drove him home and drove on the road normally. But there is an SUV driving quickly on the opposite side, and the speed limit on the road with a speed limit of 70 is at least 120 or more. Disaster came in an instant, and a car accident happened. After the incident, he survived by luck, but his parents died unfortunately. When encountering such a thing, sometimes I can only admit that I am unlucky. In the beginning, the case was determined normally, and the other party was fully responsible, and Su Yong was also immersed in grief. But after one night, everything was overturned. The other party's full responsibility becomes my parents' full responsibility, and the other party's retrograde speeding becomes my parents' retrograde speeding. On the contrary, the other party asked people to bring words. Do not hold him accountable. These words were like a blow to the head, and he was dizzy and at a loss. He asked confusedly, why? The person who brought the words just looked at him with pity and said, there is no reason. Later, Su Yong pursued justice everywhere, but there was no result. Instead, he was threatened with beating several times, and if he continued, he would die. Since then, Su Yong has changed. He understands that in the face of the huge identity gap, what he wants to do is obviously impossible to accomplish. In desperation, he didn't seek death, but lived better. Investigate the other party's identity and background, and at the same time work hard to exercise yourself. After a year of investigation and preparation, he knew that the other party was the largest merchant in the area, so he just ate a few meals and gave some gifts, and the matter was settled. Finally, through his continuous planning, he successfully caused a big explosion in the opponent's villa, and died together with the opponent's family. It's a pity that the person who solved this matter for this person has not yet taken revenge. That was his biggest regret. Thousands of thoughts kept closing, and Su Yong gradually returned to reality from memories. In the compound, Su Yong gripped the sword even tighter. The powerful in the world can do anything wrong, and no one can stop them. The collusion between the government and businessmen, the suffering of the common people, there is nowhere to complain. I came to this world, and I can easily obtain the power of creation that surpasses heaven and earth. Since that's the case, something has to be done. If this world is like an abyss, then I will name the sword in my hand Zanyuan. I, Su Yong, can't control all injustices in the world, but if I encounter them, then I will draw my sword to make peace. Chapter 2 is missing. Come on. Zhang Qing, who was guarding the door, immediately entered the courtyard when he heard it. My lord, what are your orders? Arrangement, I want all the evidence of the crimes committed by Li Ming, the third son of the Li family. This. Zhang Qing hesitated for a moment, then raised his head and said, my lord, what if? Su Yong glanced at Zhang Qing. Do I need to explain to you? Zhang Qing's body tensed up, and he immediately became nervous. My lord, I'll do it right away. Then he quickly left the compound. Su Yong continued to swing his sword regularly. Since you have something you want to do, strength is very important. What he wants to do requires more strength to him. After Zhang Qing left, he quickly gave Su Yang's orders. Su Yang's hundreds of people acted immediately. As the military envoy, Su Yang is in charge of hundreds of people. He is responsible for managing the security of Chunfeng Street in Pingshan City on weekdays. The full name is Chunfeng Street Envoy. If there are warriors and monks making trouble, they need to take action. Su Yang's order was not small. And this incident reached Li Ming's ears only half an hour later. Li family mansion. Li Haixi respectfully reported the information he just received. Li Ming kept tapping his fingers on the table. Collect my incriminating evidence. This new Spring Breeze Street envoy is really interesting. Arrange a meeting with him for me. Yes. Li Haixi withdrew respectfully. Zhang Qing came to Su Yang from outside the courtyard. My lord, the servants of the Li family said that Li Ming wants to meet you in the Jushang Tower, what do you think? Su Yang frowned, a feeling of disgust rose from the bottom of his heart. The Li family is really good. It took only half an hour for him to act before the other party knew about it. Su Yang gave Zhang Qing a deep look. Not seen. Zhang Qing shrank his head and felt Su Yang's anger. Originally, he was going to say something, but now he didn't dare. I don't know how the Li family offended the newly appointed envoy. But Su Yang couldn't see the situation clearly. Fighting with the Li family, is it enough for you to be a military envoy? Come outside the courtyard. Li Haixi was waiting outside calmly with his back straightened. He was not worried that Su Yang would refuse. Because he represents the Li family at this time. Seeing Zhang Qing walk out, Li Haixi smiled and said, Brother Zhang, how are you? Originally, his next speech was already prepared. But what Zhang Qing said made him suspect that he had heard it wrong. Not seen. What? My adults say no. Zhang Qing repeated it. Li Haixi frowned. Something was beyond his expectation. He stretched out his hand, took out a bank note from his sleeve and handed it over. Can you tell me a little bit? Zhang Qing took it with a smile, and after looking around for a while, whispered, I don't know too well, but according to my lord, this matter is settled. After finishing speaking, Zhang Qing looked at his nose and heart, and said no more. Li Haitzi nodded and left. With the information, I went back and reported it. Li Ming sat in a gazebo with a very unhappy expression on his face. The new officials really don't know what to do when they take office. Okay, you go down, I want to see what he is going to do. 2 hours later, Su Yong had stopped practicing his sword, and kept listening to his subordinates reporting Li Ming's evidence. At the same time, there was a stack of crime books beside him. I bought all the fertile land from 17 households at a low price, and those who didn't follow had their legs broken. I bought the store at number 77 Chunfeng Street at a low price, but the boss refused, and his son was thrown into the river the next day. Buy the medicinal materials collected by the herbal collector at a low price, and force them to sell them to him. Those who disobey will be beaten by the Li family's family until they are willing. The herb collector sues the government, but he is fooled. The complainant disappeared on the second day, and rumors say that he disappeared after entering the mountain, but in fact, it is very likely that the Li family did it. Under the oppression of the Li family, they can only choose to sell the medicinal materials to the Li family at a low price. Quote. All kinds of crimes, countless. This Li Ming is very focused on making money, but this method is the act of a bully. In ancient times, transportation was inconvenient. How easy was it for civilians to leave a place where they lived? When oppressed, as long as it is not forced to death. Sometimes, what is pursued is to endure as much as possible. But why don't they hope that someone can stand up and uphold justice for them? They stood up before, but they were easily pushed down by the Li family. In such a situation, they can only suffer in silence. Fine land is the root of common people. Medicinal materials are the only channel for the survival of herbal collectors. Su Yong also understood at this time that the will of all beings is the appeal of countless Li people. This is also consistent with what he wants to do in the future. Su Yong closed his eyes to calm down the anger in his heart. All these injustices to civilians made him feel unfair. But also strengthened his belief. Since he has the ability in this life, he has to do something. There is no other, for the joy of the heart. To live, there must always be a look of being alive. Su Yong just quietly listened to all of Li Ming's crimes. In the end, the dozens of people standing in the entire compound were all silent. The things Li Ming did are too hateful. Relying on identity, status, and misbehavior, they are not doing it secretly. They just investigated these things casually, and they found out everything. The reason for this is because the Li family is the overlord in Pingshan City, and even the government can no longer control them. Even the people in the government, and they are not wearing a pair of pants. Can Li Ming just be allowed to be so arrogant? Everyone looked at him in command. They looked at Su Yong, expecting in their hearts. Everyone is looking forward to what decision Su Yong will make next. Although in their view, what they expect is a bit taken for granted, but they are just expecting it in their hearts, why not? Is it gone? Su Yong glanced at everyone, and then said, who is willing to go with me to arrest Li Ming and bring him back for trial? Su Yang's words shocked everyone at the scene, and they really wanted to attack the Li family. They applauded in their hearts. But the scene was quiet and no one answered. They want someone to stand up against the Li family, and they want Su Yong to stand up for these people. But they don't want to be the one who fights against the Li family. They didn't want to provoke the Li family. But at some point, someone will always stand up. My lord, I would like to go with you. Su Yong looked at his subordinates, and was a little disappointed at first, but now it seems that it is okay, not all of them have their spines broken. Very well, what's your name? Zhang Hu. As the first person stood up, others stood up one after another. At the end, everyone expressed their willingness, but Su Yong didn't know how many of them were sincere, and how many of them stubbornly agreed. Su Yong would not bring so many people, he just ordered the first 10 people who spoke. He was there to arrest people, not to ransack the house. Bringing 10 subordinates, Su Yong left the compound and rushed towards Li's house. After a while, they arrived at the door of Li's house. But just arrived here, he was stopped by the servant. Stop! What are you doing here? Su Yong led the team without stopping for half a step, and the commander took out the token. Arrests. The guard recognized the token at a glance, and did not dare to stop it for a while. Su Yong led a team of troops in. One of the guards rushed inside quickly, wanting to report in advance. Chapter 3 I said. I can't put it. Li family yard. Two waves of people confront each other. Li Ming was surrounded by a group of servants, and looked at Su Yong calmly. I don't know what is the reason for the envoy from Chunfeng Street to come to my Li family. Forcibly breaking into a private house is a violation of Daxia's law. Su Yong was unmoved, and raised his eyelids. Why am I here today? You are so well informed, don't you know? I don't know if Mr. Li will go with me by himself, or do you want me to please? Li Haitzi scolded from the side. Do you know what you're doing? Don't think that no one can cure you just by being a military envoy. Su Yong looked over at a glance. He hated this kind of dog leg the most. Li Ming was only in charge of giving orders, and it was this kind of dog leg who did it, and he was also guilty of serious crimes. With a thought of Su Yong, a transparent long sword flew out of thin air, and hit Li Haitzi the left side of the face with the sword. Li Haitzi screamed on the spot and was knocked to the ground. Catch it. Hearing this, Zhonghu left immediately, and stepped forward with another person to hold Li Haitzi down. Li Ming waved his hand at this time to signal his servants to stop him. Those who obstruct the Junwu division's work shall be regarded as the same crime. Su Yang's light words made the servants who were about to go forward stop in their tracks. They knew exactly what Li Haitzi had done. And Zhonghu and another person had already clamped Li Haitzi up and pressed him to the back. Li Haitzi had already been stunned by Su Yang's sword strike, and now that he's more sober, he doesn't dare to resist. He was afraid that Su Yong would kill him with a sword. Li Ming was obviously angry, but he was smiling. Okay, very good, it's a good way to use soldiers. But I don't know if you can consider the consequences. Come to my Li mansion to arrest people, can you ask the commander of the Junwu division? Su Yong calmly said. To arrest a suspect, the envoy does not need to ask for instructions. What's more, I follow the rules, and it is useless if the commander comes. No one can save you today. As a result of, he, Su Yong, has to worry about the consequences, so he won't come here today. Li Ming laughed back angrily. Ha ha ha, good, then I will go live with you in the prison of Junwusi today. It's best that Mr. Li is willing to go. Otherwise he will be accused of resisting arrest, and the crime will be 3 points heavier. Su Yong said with a smile, but no one thought it was funny. Everyone present knew that something big was going to happen. Either the military envoy will be abolished, or the third son of the Li family will fall. But Su Yong, a soldier in charge, can wrestle with the Li family. The Li family has stood in Pingshan City for decades and has taken root deeply. How can it be easily brought down? Basically everyone thinks that Su Yong is dead. Su Yong didn't care about these things, so he pushed the two of them away. What happened here was quickly spread to Li Yijiang, the head of the Li family, by his servants. Li Yijiang thought more about it. Ming-Er has indeed been a bit presumptuous recently, but he is my son after all. Come here, send a greeting card to Commander Zhang. A moment later, Su Yong had brought the team back to Junwu division. Zhonghu, send them to the cell and lock them up. Yes. Li Ming did not resist either. The government is the government after all. Represents the face of Daxia. He believed that he would be able to go out soon. After that, it would not be too late to clean up Su Yong. After everything is done, Zhonghu returned to Su Yong again. You inform me that Li Ming will be tried publicly tomorrow. If you have grievances, you can come to Chunfeng Hall to appeal. As long as the truth is true, this judge will seek justice for him. Clear. At this time, Zhonghu was extremely excited, and his eyes on Su Yong had changed. He never imagined that one day he would be able to watch Li Ming go to prison, and even more so to see Li Ming being tried. He secretly decided in his heart that if the Li family puts pressure on Su Yong later, he will lighten the burden on Su Yong. Use your own way to make Li Ming pay for the mistakes he made. In the past, Li Ming was surrounded by 8th rank warriors. And now is his chance. While thinking about it, Zhonghu left and followed Su Yang's instructions. Su Yong looked thoughtfully at Zhonghu who was leaving. After comprehending the sword intent, he also became sensitive to changes in people's emotions. Soon, a piece of exciting news spread throughout the city. Junwu Si, Chunfengtang, Li Ming will be publicly tried tomorrow. Anyone who has been bullied by Li Ming can go to Chunfengtang to seek justice. As long as it is true, the commander of Chunfeng Street will make the decision. The reaction of the people is real. People who had been bullied by Li Ming clapped their hands and applauded one after another. They were all talking, and finally a master Qingtian came out. The smarter ones are not so optimistic. Even if Su Yong is really a good official, he is willing to stand up for common people like them. But the Li family is not so easy to offend. Whether things can be resolved in the end is another matter. Even Su Yong himself may have an accident. Su Yong doesn't care what the outside world is like. At this time, he has returned to his compound. Practice the sword again. As long as his sword is strong enough. No matter how violent the storm is, he still smashes it with one blow. Zhen Wuxi, Commander's Mansion. Boom. Zhang Ziwu slapped the table fiercely, and said angrily, "What did you say? Who allowed him to do this?" At this time, he also knew what Su Yong had done. Public trial of Li Ming. If you really want to do this, there is no room for relaxation. Fortunately, things have not happened yet, everything is still too late. Otherwise, he just promised Li Yijiang to rescue Li Ming, but turned around and couldn't do it. Wouldn't that be a slap in the face? Besides, this stunned young man didn't know what to do. Can the Li family be easily offended? If the Li family only has these family businesses and strengths on the surface of Pingshan City, then they committed these things, they would have copied the Li family long ago. But both the eldest son and the second son of the Li family are quite talented in cultivation. One went out with a 6th rank monk and the other a 6th rank warrior. In the future, it will not be said that blue is better than blue, but as far as their master is concerned, they are not people like them who can offend. As long as the Li family is not going too far, they will choose to turn a blind eye. This world belongs to the great Xia dynasty, but their fate is their own. Taking a deep breath, Zhang Ziwu quickly left his residence. My lord, Commander Zhang is here, in the living room. Zhang Qing came to Su Yong cautiously. Now he can't see what Su Yong wants to do, but not participating in self-protection is his choice. Well, I'll go right away. Su Yong put away his sword, and then came to the living room. At this time, Zhang Ziwu was sitting at the main seat. Su Yong didn't care, so he found a place to sit down at random, and said, I don't know why the commander came here. Zhang Ziwu tapped his fingers on the table, and said in a deep voice, I'm not going around with you either. Who told you to arrest Li Ming? We can't afford to offend him. Now that he is released, there is still room for relaxation. Su Yong calmly said, Human, I can't let him go. I arrested him according to the laws of Daxia. After the trial, if he is not guilty, I will let him go naturally. But if he is guilty, he can do whatever he wants. Zhang Ziwu suddenly became angry, and the 7th rank martial artist's cultivation base exploded, and his whole body was pressed towards Su Yong. Let him go, this is an order, not a discussion with you. Su Yang's sitting upright was not affected in any way. As he raised his head, a sword intent shot up into the sky, enveloping Zhang Ziwu, causing Zhang Ziwu to press against his forehead like a sword blade for a moment, threatening to kill him at any time. All the anger in his heart dissipated at this moment. Qi and blood gathered around the body. Looking at Su Yong in disbelief. I said. I can't let it go. Chapter 4 Protest is invalid. Su Yong is calm and composed, his words are firm, and his momentum is even more crushing. Zhang Ziwu felt the sword intent enveloping him, slicing across his body one by one, as if as long as Su Yong thought, he would be torn to pieces. What a terrifying sword intent. Countless thoughts were flying in Zhang Ziwu's mind. Su Yong, he cannot be provoked. For this matter, let Su Yong fight the Li family. Being able to fight is not necessarily a good thing for him. Good. After saying this word, Zhang Ziwu also left like a deflated rubber ball. This is the first time he has suffered from his subordinates since he became the commander. Outside the hall, Zhang Qing saw Zhang Ziwu coming out, and hurried forward to greet him. Seeing Zhang Ziwu's dark face, Zhang Qing didn't dare to say more, and honestly sent Zhang Ziwu out. Zhang Ziwu left without saying a word the whole time. Zhang Qing was very puzzled. This looks. He is very familiar, but it is impossible. Depressed. In the hands of their commanders. I don't understand, and I dare not ask more questions. That night. In the Li family, Li Yijiang received news from Zhang Ziwu. Zhang Ziwu told him that he couldn't do this. The news is very common, and Su Yang's abnormality was not even revealed. Perhaps this leader is often helpless. When Li Yijiang glanced over, the indifferent expression on his face disappeared instantly, and he slapped the table hard. Boom. The four corners of the table could not bear the huge force and collapsed instantly. Useless things, so much money is collected, even one person can't get it out of the hands of his subordinates. What a soldier in charge of Chunfeng Street. I want to see how capable you are. Come here, tell Lao He that I want to fertilize the peach tree. Second day. Grandpa. Grandpa. Lu Yuro happily rushed home from outside. Lu Kongshan smiled and said, "What a good thing, I'm so happy." Lu Yuro immediately stopped her expression, but the corners of her mouth still couldn't help but rise. "How do you know it's a good thing? I haven't even said it yet." Lu Kongshan shook his head, the corners of his granddaughter's mouth were about to burst into laughter, and she didn't know it. Okay, tell me, what's the matter? Lu Yuro couldn't hold back her temper after all, and said with a happy smile, "Li Ming has been arrested." Huh? Lu Kongshan was taken aback. Which Li Ming? Lu Yuro muttered, "Grandpa, are you a fool? It's the third son of the Li family, Li Ming." Lu Kongshan didn't go out after yesterday's incident, and he didn't know the news, but even if he heard it now, he felt a little impossible. Where did you hear about it, and who caught it? Seeing that Lu Kongshan didn't believe it, Lu Yuro told what he saw and heard when he went out today. Chunfeng Street Commander. Hearing this, Lu Kongshan still thought it was impossible. But later Lu Yuro said that today Li Ming will be tried publicly in the Spring Breeze Hall, and anyone who has been wrong can come and sue. This convinced Lu Kongshan a little more. Grandpa, in this way, don't we need to go to the Li family to refine medicine? Well, let's go to Chunfengtang today. As time went by, what Su Yang did and said yesterday also spread in Pingshan City. The time has come. Whether you believe it or not, you are planning to come to Chunfengtang to have a look. If it's fake, just take it as a joke, and there will be one more joke in Pingshan City in the future. Really, that is really gratifying. This is a great thing in Pingshan City. How many people have been squeezed and bullied by the Li family? How many people have been bullied by Li Ming, the third son of the Li family? If Li Ming hadn't been accompanied by an 8th rank warrior at all times, he would have died countless times. It is too difficult for ordinary people in this world. It is impossible to die together. The time for the public trial is noon. The sun keeps rising. Originally, noon is the time to eat, and every family should eat at home. But outside the Spring Breeze Hall, it was already surrounded by civilians. They came here today just to see if this incident is a joke or can give them justice. The government is the only backstage that civilians can rely on. If it collapses, the trust of the common people in the government will also collapse. Chunfeng Hall is open, because the public trial has not yet started, only some people who are on duty on weekdays are there. They looked at the watertight scene outside the door, and felt an unprecedented feeling in their hearts. They looked up at the plaques on the left and right stone pillars. Open black lens bracket for justice, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket for the hearts of the people, close black lens bracket. They seem to have never been worthy of these 6 words. But is that what they don't want? The 4 people on duty at the Spring Breeze Hall held the water and fire sticks tightly. The sun is gradually rising, and it will soon come to the sky in a blink of an eye. Zhang Qing pushed open the courtyard door and came to Su Yang, who was swinging a sword. "My lord, noon is almost here." Su Yang retracted his sword. "Well, ask Zhang Hu to Li Ming and Li Haitzi to Chunfeng Hall." Zhang Qing bowed his head and accepted the order. Yes. After finishing speaking, Su Yang tidied up and left. Zhang Qing can't be reused. It's okay to pass an order now. When he has a confidant later, Su Yang will naturally replace him. Give way. Make way. Make way to both sides. Accompanied by the uproar and noise, a group of soldiers from Zhenwuxi pressed Li Ming and Li Haitzi and pushed through the crowd all the way to the main hall of Spring Breeze Hall. The people who came here to watch widened their eyes, as if seeing an incredible scene. For a while, I was speechless. This. Really? Okay. Good catch. Big-legged Li Haitzi, you must be punished severely. This Li Haitzi is not a good thing either. For a while, the surroundings were full of happy words. I can't wait for Li Ming and Li Haitzi to be on the way to the execution ground. Li Ming was not concerned about the noise around him, and walked towards the Chunfeng Hall indifferently. Even at this time, he still did not panic. In the Hall of Spring Breeze, Su Yong sat in the hall with a plaque blue sky on his head. Bring criminals Li Ming and Li Haitzi to court. Two people outside the door were brought into the hall. Outside the Spring Breeze Hall, Lu Yuro looked at the host and said, Grandpa, is that the soldier in charge of Chunfeng Street, Su Yong? Although Lu Kongshan has never met Su Yong is the only one who can sit on the main seat at this time. So young, and so handsome. During the lunar calendar, in 455 years, on June 7, the leader purchased 17 households of fertile land at a price 10 times lower than the market price. Those who did not want to break their legs and forcibly pressed the contract. According to the investigation, they were all instigated by Li Ming and Li Haitzi. 4. Great Shah Calendar, in 455 years, on July 10, I bought shop number 7 on Chunfeng Street at a low price, but the shopkeeper refused, and his son was thrown into the river the next day. After investigation, it was all done by Li Ming and Li Haitzi. During the 455th year of the Great Shah Calendar, on November 13, the herbal collectors in Pingdingshan were controlled by force, and the medicinal materials in their hands were bought at a low price. Those who refused to accept all disappeared. According to the investigation, they were all instigated by Li Ming and Li Haitzi. Great Summer Calendar, 456 years. Great Summer Calendar, 456 years. Snapped. Finally, Su Yong patted Xingmu, and said in a low voice, You have participated in a total of 17 cases, and you are the mastermind. Are you convinced? Li Ming narrowed his eyes and said calmly, I protest, I have never done any of these things. Su Yong said indifferently, the protest is invalid, the evidence for these things is conclusive. Li Ming's heart surged with anger, and the veins on his forehead burst out, breaking the indifference in his heart for the first time. Outside the courtroom, there are still grievances. Some people can come in with drums to sue. This judge will give justice to those who are wrong today. Chapter 5 Execution after 3 days. Su Yong looked outside the gate, this was the main reason for his public trial. Let the people who have been oppressed in Pingshan City come to complain. Find out all the things Li Ming committed. In this way, justice can be given to everyone, and his task can be completed to the highest degree. After seeing that Su Yong was serious, the cheers outside had already surged like a tsunami. Someone beat the big drum with this momentum. Bang bang bang. Come in. Grassman, Li kowtow to your lord. If you have any grievances, please tell me one by one. Thank you, sir. 2 months ago, Li Haitzi saw that there was a 10-year-old wild ginseng plant in my house, so he brought someone to buy it at a low price. I didn't want to, so he robbed him conveniently, and even broke my son's leg. There are witnesses, there are 3 people who can guarantee that what you said is true, this crime should be established. Ancient guarantors, you can't easily guarantee, if something happens, you will lose your head. Soon, Li called 3 people to guarantee him, and this crime was established directly. Li Ming stood in the courtroom, his complexion darkened, but he was calmer than before. Later, more and more people sued. It took a full hour to complete, and Li Ming's crimes also increased from 17 to 27. But it's over here. No one stood up again. Those who stand up are the ones who have had enough of being aggrieved and are no longer afraid of death. There may be more people who dare not stand up for fear of being retaliated by the Li family. Seeing this, Su Yong immediately pronounced the sentence in the courtroom. According to the laws of Daxia, the crimes committed by Li Ming and Li Haitzi should be executed. Slow down. With a loud cry, Li Yizhang walked in from the outside. Master Commander, has this trial passed? After the audience saw the person clearly, their hearts skipped a beat, the patriarch of the Li family. There will be no accidents in this matter, will it? Li Ming breathed a sigh of relief when his father arrived. Su Yong said coldly, do you think Daxia's laws are wrong? How dare Li Yizhang pick up a high hat? No matter how presumptuous and arrogant he is, he dare not make him openly dissatisfied with Da Shah. Don't dare. But even if the death penalty is in accordance with the regulations, it will take 3 days. Li Yijiang's eyes were flat, as if it was not his son who was sentenced to death. Su Yong said lightly, "It's natural, Li Ming, Li Haitzi, the execution will be executed in 3 days." After Su Yong finished speaking, he left 2 orders. Even if Li Yijiang doesn't say anything, Su Yong is not in a hurry. Since he moved Li Ming, how could he only kill one Li Ming? What he wants is the entire Li family. It's a pity that Li Yijiang is too smart to give him a chance. But I heard that he still has 2 sons. Since he has a 6th rank backer, he shouldn't be so stable, right? If you attack and kill an official of the imperial court, you can copy your family and exterminate your family. Su Yang's eyes flickered. Zhang Hu. The subordinate is here. Zhang Hu walked out from the side, full of energy and rosy complexion. Take someone to arrest all the accomplices. Obey. The principal offender was sentenced, but the accomplice must also be arrested. After Zhang Hu took the order, he immediately dispatched a large number of soldiers and rushed towards Li's house. In this regard, Li Yijiang did not stop him. Retire. Mighty. Li Yijiang took one last look at Li Ming, and Li Ming also looked at his father. After they exchanged glances, Li Ming understood what his father meant. The death penalty is not counted until death. Everyone withdrew and left, and Li Ming and Li Haitzi were also escorted away. On the way, Li Haitzi looked at Li Ming in despair. Things have developed to this point, even if Li Ming can be fished out, but what about him? Third young master, can I go out? Li Ming was already in a bad mood, and seeing Li Haitzi's appearance was even more unpleasant. Shut up. The public trial is over. Everyone who participated in this public trial felt a little dreamy. They looked at the blue sky plaque on the top of the court, and then looked at Su Yong. For the first time, they felt that under this plaque was the real blue sky. Someone really dared to touch the Li family in Pingshan City. In the crowd, someone watched all this indifferently, and whispered, "This person is not bad, let's make a note for now, and look at the situation later, the matter is not over yet." Lu Yuro followed Lu Kongshan, cheering and jumping for joy, unable to stop being so excited. "Grandpa, this Li Ming is really sentenced. Death penalty. Good sentence, and that Li Haitzi, too. Lu Kongshan is over half a century old and has also experienced storms." At this time, he couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth. "Yeah, the sentence is good, we may really have a blue sky here." Just one day. The entire Pingshan city was surging. Zhang Hu rushed into Li's house with nearly 100 soldiers from Chunfeng Hall, arresting all the subordinates trained by Li Ming. The process of the matter was passed on in an instant, and everyone in the city knew it. Pingshan City has a total of 6 streets, that is to say, there are 6 military envoys and 1 commander. Except for Zhang Ziwu, who knew Su Yang's strength, the rest of the envoys were all terrified. How dare a military envoy with the same status as them dare to oppose the Li family? Who gave him the courage? Did Mang village come out? Even the soldiers of the Spring Breeze Hall were a little worried. Worried that this fight would implicate them. Since ancient high-level battles, the people most likely to be injured are the lower-level personnel. Chunfeng Street, the compound of the commander. "My lord, all the accomplices have been arrested, a total of 23 people." Zhang Hu came to report in front of Su Yong who was practicing sword. He looked curiously at Su Yong who was practicing sword. They didn't know much about the newly appointed envoy. "I only know that I am very strong, but I like to swing swords in the courtyard every day. Let's talk about practicing some peerless sword moves. Not like. It is exactly what anyone can do, draw the sword, swing the sword, and draw the sword. A set of procedures is meticulous and very serious. Can gain great strength just like this. Well, sentence according to the normal process. Yes. In ancient times, as long as the government determined who the suspect was, they could be arrested with a little evidence. Witnesses, physical evidence, reasonable reasoning, as long as one point can be confirmed, the suspect can be arrested. Next, the government does not need more evidence, but needs the suspect to give a reasonable explanation to prove his innocence. If you can't prove it, then you did it. After everything was arranged, Su Yong continued to swing his sword in the courtyard. Just like that, it didn't stop until sunset. The sun goes down and the lamps are lit. At nightfall, a figure quietly came to the compound of Zhang Bingshi. This person is so good at lightness kung fu that he can easily flip through the 3-meter-high courtyard wall without making a sound. Li Hei's purpose here is very simple, to kill Su Yang. Although Su Yang is an official, as long as he dies and does not make a big fuss, there are naturally many ways to cover it up. Li Ming's execution can also work. In the entire Pingshan city, except for Su Yang, the rest of the envoys are friendly with the Li family. Li Hei quietly came outside Su Yang's house. At this moment, the door opened. It's not a good habit to visit in the middle of the night. Su Yang had already shrouded the sword intent in the entire compound, and any disturbance would wake him up. This can be regarded as a small function developed by him. Li Hei's heart tightened, but he didn't expect to succeed in the assassination when he came here. So what if it is discovered? Everything is false in the face of absolute strength. Li Hei chuckled. You're right, but getting up in the middle of the night is not a good habit. Isn't it good to lie down and die in peace? Oh. Su Yang showed a strange smile. You want me to die? Are you strong enough? Li Hei didn't speak, but wanted to prove it with his strength. His 7th rank strength still can't beat the 8th rank military envoy. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 6 Sword Intent LV11. Su Yang put his fingers together and turned them into sword fingers, dancing freely in the void, and the sword intent scattered in the courtyard instantly gathered. At this moment, Li Hei's hairs stood on end, and an extreme sense of danger enveloped his whole body. A feeling of dying. What happened? Taking a closer look, strands of sword intent wrapped around Su Yang's body, giving him a sense of ecstasy. Before he could make a countermeasure, the sword intent had already struck him. Li Hei frowned, resisted immediately, pulled out the tang knife from his waist, and raised his hand as a move. The energy of martial arts is accompanied by the light of the sword. The impact of the sword intent shattered the energy of martial arts in an instant. He continued to press forward and took out Li Hei, who was flying upside down. The sword intent continued to dance, piercing through Li Hei's limbs in an instant. Blood sprayed like a fountain. Li Hei wanted to struggle, but he couldn't exert all his strength. So strong. Being defeated by one move, Li Hei was stunned and full of doubts. The opponent actually comprehended the sword intent. Even a little bit can directly enter the 3rd rank. Ha! Su Yang retracted his sword, and at the same time glanced at a big tree outside the courtyard. In the dark night, something seemed to have left there. In the middle of the night, you must find something for me. It's a pity. Not from the Li family, otherwise I could directly attack the Li family. There are also strict procedures for ransacking the family and exterminating the clan. Although Li Hei is probably a member of the Li family. But as long as the Li family refuses to admit it, and Li Hei also refuses to admit it, the family cannot be confiscated without hard evidence. Still have to wait for the other 2 sons of the Li family. Su Yang carried Li Hei with one hand, all the way to the cell on Chunfeng Street. Grown-ups. Zhang Hu, who was guarding here, was also surprised when he saw Su Yang's arrival, and quickly saluted. Su Yang nodded, then casually threw Li Hei in front of Zhang Hu. Li Hei didn't resist, but moved his body. Well, put this person next to Li Ming, look after him, a 7th rank warrior. Well, Zhang Hu blinked, did he hear something wrong? A 7th rank warrior. Being thrown in front of him like a dead dog by the commander. Master Soldier Commander hasn't reached the 7th rank yet, right? Zhang Hu wanted to ask, but Su Yang had already left, so it was fine after thinking about it. Because Li Ming is imprisoned here, it is more important. So Su Yang specially arranged for Zhang Hu to guard him. He knew that Zhang Hu would not let Li Ming go. As for Li Hei's limbs had been crippled by Su Yang, he couldn't even move, and there was no threat. A dignified 7th rank warrior, a top figure in Pingshan City. This is how it ended up now. Zhang Hu stepped forward and mentioned the other party, looked at him, he was ugly, not as handsome as him. Hey, are you a 7th rank warrior? Li Hei ignored him at all. Yo, you're so arrogant, why don't you answer? Zhang Hu was suddenly upset, and raised his hand to give this guy a few mouthfuls. At this moment Li Hei stared at him fiercely. Zhang Hu stopped abruptly with a sense of coercion, and scratched his head with his raised hand. Zhang Hu's heart was pounding. Good guy, with such sharp eyes. Is it really the 7th rank? Forget it, let's throw it beside Li Ming honestly. carried Li He inside. After a while, Li He was thrown into a cell with a bang. The loud noise woke up Li Ming, who had just fallen asleep. Looked at Zhang Hu displeased. Zhang Hu suddenly became even more upset. What are you looking at? Grandma, I haven't punished you yet. Don't want to sleep tonight. Thinking of the scene of being humiliated at the beginning, Zhang Hu became angry instantly. Suddenly decided to give Li Ming a show tonight. At this time, Li Ming's attention was not on Zhang Hu at all. He looked at the person who had just entered the cell next to him in disbelief. Uncle He. Is it really you? As Li Yizhang's confidant, Li He naturally knew him. The Li Haitzi he cultivated, in fact, meant to train Li Haitzi as Li He, hoping to have a capable confidant in the future. Li He said ashamedly, "Third young master, I am afraid that this old slave will not be able to save you." Li Ming felt a little uncomfortable and said, "What's going on?" Then Li He got rid of everything. After a while, I only heard the sound of a lost soul sitting in the prison. Finished. Everything is over. Midnight. Li Mansion. It was already late at night outside, but Li Yizhang couldn't fall asleep anyway, and the restless feeling made him very uncomfortable. What happened? Come on. Is Lao He back? No. Why not? In the house, Li Yizhang immediately understood what was wrong. Something happened to Li He. As his confidant, he knows Li He very well. If nothing happens, he will definitely return in time. Li Yizhang is also a person who has seen big winds and waves. Although the current situation is extremely unfavorable to him, he still has a whole card, and everything has a turning point. He quickly opened a secret compartment in the room. There is a magic talisman and a blood talisman inside. This is left by my eldest son and second son. Li Yizhang mobilized his true energy and made the two talisman papers burn. In a short while, the two talisman papers were burned up. It's not over yet. On the second day, Su Yang repeated his daily sword swing in the courtyard. When he swung his sword again, open black lens bracket sword intent proficiency +1, sword intent level increased. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket current sword intent level, LV11 close black lens bracket. Call. In an instant, the sword intent in Su Yang's Dantian was several percent stronger, which meant that his strength had also increased by several percent. 7th rank can be killed at will. I just don't know how the 6th grade is. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV11, 011 thousandths. Sword moves. None. Will of all beings. 0. Su Yang checked the panel. Even if his current sword intent is no match for rank 6, at most he can swing the sword for 3 more days, and the sword intent will be raised to LV12. Perhaps the 6th grade can also be cut, right? Now he is more curious about what the will of all living beings can do. According to the current situation, the rewards will not be issued until the punishment of Li Ming and others is completely completed. During these 2 days, Su Yang also studied the will of all beings. Probably the common thought and common prayer of many people. I just don't know if anything can become a task as long as there are many people thinking about the same thing, or if only grievances and the like can become a task. At present, he has relatively little contact with this, and he cannot judge it. Thinking about one thing must have many people, and the idea must be strong in order to succeed. For example, the Li family and Li Ming. Are there any people in Pingshan City who hate the Li family? There must be, but the Li family as a whole is not doing too much. There may not be enough people who want to destroy the Li family, and their thoughts are not strong enough, so there will be no missions. Li Ming is different. He has done too much. Not only are there many people who hate him, but they are also strong, so the will of all beings appeared. This is probably one of the reasons why the task of the will of all beings appeared. There is also the most critical core. The conditions for the emergence of the will of all living beings. According to his memory, he could only see the will of all beings after he inherited the father's position as the original owner of this world. Does that mean that he must have an official position in a place in order to see the will of all beings in a place, and to solve it and gain benefits? Su Yang looked at the white gas floating above Pingshan City, and gradually understood in his heart. Everything looks unrecognizable, but a closer inspection reveals the difference. After thinking for a while, Su Yang then swung his sword in the courtyard. As for the assassin caught last night, it was obviously sent by the Li family, so there was probably nothing to ask, so I might as well wait 2 days and kill them with Li Ming and the others. While swinging the sword, Su Yong determined the fate of this person. Swinging the sword for 8 hours a day, you can swing the sword 4,000 times, maybe. In order to improve his strength quickly, he can work harder. The main issue is whether the body can bear it. His body is only slightly better than that of a mortal. The 3-foot-long sword in his hand weighs 3 catties, and he wields it with one hand. It is already very good that he can do this step now. Because of the high-intensity sword swing, it is inevitable to use liquid and ointment to treat the arms. Fortunately, the healing medicine in this high martial arts world is very good, which can help him recover quickly. The sword intent cannot directly strengthen his body. If it is too powerful and cannot be controlled precisely, he will be the one who will be injured. Maybe he can use a body tempering sword move later. Swinging the sword 4,000 times a day has already made him very tired. This is the result of improving his physical fitness. Before, at the beginning, there were at most a few hundred swords a day. Chapter 7 Prison Robbery, that's a capital crime. A day passed in a blink of an eye. Su Yong didn't stop swinging his sword until it was dark. After he had a rest, an unexpected guest came again. Pingshan Town Wuxi Commander, Zhang Ziwu. This time was different from the last time. This time Zhang Ziwu didn't go to sit at the main seat, but honestly found a seat under the main seat. Su Yong, there is still room for relaxation in this matter. Even if you have 7th rank strength, the Li family has 2 6th rank backers. Su Yong sat on the main seat, and said in a calm and unhurried manner, is the backing of the 6th rank very strong? There is still Daxia behind me. Su Yong had made up his mind a long time ago. When he saw this kind of injustice, he would not only take care of it, but also take care of it to the end. It would be useless for anyone to come. Unless the opponent is stronger than him, then for the sake of his own life, he may let it go temporarily. When you want to use power and money to change his mind and make him let go of the evildoers. In a word, impossible. He suffered injustice in his previous life, and no one could stand up for him. In this life, he is willing to stand up for others. All evildoers, he will kill them. Regardless of your umbrella, the towering trees will all be chopped to pieces with one sword. This is his belief in this life. Sweep away the injustices you see, and ask for a clear idea. Zhang Ziwu raised his forehead. Why can't you figure it out? Yes, there is Daxia behind us, but can Daxia protect us? What if the 6th rank comes to kill us? Even if Daxia will pursue the Li family after we die, if we are all dead, then what's the point of all this? In my opinion, don't you just want to give justice to those common people? Don't you just want to see Li Ming's actions? Now that your goal has been achieved, Li Ming will definitely not do this in the future. If we continue to fight, we will lose both. Young man, the most important thing is to be alive. After some persuasion, Zhang Ziwu took out a purple patterned wooden box from his sleeve. This is a 100-year-old mountain ginseng sent to me by the Li family. It will be of great help to 7th rank monks. Ah! Su Yong laughed when he saw this. The Li family really deserves to be overbearing. The ceremony is actually behind the soldiers. Others always give the ceremony first and then the soldiers, but he is the soldier first and then the ceremony. If he really agreed to Zhang Ziwu's persuasion, what is the difference between him and the corrupt official who protected the merchant's family in his previous life? What's the meaning? Zhang Ziwu frowned, as if something happened that he didn't know about. What's the meaning? It seems that you don't know. Su Yong looked at Zhang Ziwu playfully, and then revealed what happened last night. Send things back to him. I don't have any merits, but money can't change what I want to do, and it doesn't work if I add more money. You know, you can't stop me. Zhang Ziwu's face darkened, and he had no choice but to put away the wooden box, but he still reminded Su Yong, be careful yourself. Although Su Yong looked down on him a bit, Zhang Ziwu had long since lost his spirit, otherwise why would he be at the mercy of the Li family? Walking out of the room, Zhang Ziwu looked at the sky, as if recalling himself 20 years ago. At that time, he should still be a high-spirited young man. Consequences are never something young people should consider. He had to admit that he was getting old. Li Mansion, Li Yizhang's chest rose and fell. Obviously, he was a little angry. He has never been so embarrassed before, just a soldier in command. But why does Su Yong have a 7th rank cultivation base? He has asked his servants to collect all the information on Su Yong. His father's name is Su Yu, who came to Pingshan City 5 years ago, and obtained the official position of Spring Breeze Street Commander with 8th rank strength. In the past 5 years, he has been extremely low-key, and he has been acting as a military envoy honestly, and he has not meddled in his own business. As for the specific origin, it is impossible to investigate. Died of illness at home a month ago, and his son Su Yong succeeded to the throne. This Su Yong also came here 5 years ago, but during the 5 years, he seldom went out and stayed at home all the year round, so why is he at the 7th rank? There is very little information that can be obtained. He has lived for 5 years, but there is no trace. It made Li Yijiang feel very strange. The current situation is that he really has nothing to do with Su Yong. Hard ones won't work, nor soft ones. What to do? Prison robbery, prison robbery. Suddenly, an idea was born in Li Yijiang's mind. When this idea is born, it cannot stop growing easily like a weed. Li Yijiang has no other choice now. On the bright side, Zhang Ziwu couldn't suppress Su Yong. Secretly, the people he sent out did not move. Then I can only think of something heresy. After having this idea, Li Yijiang immediately started to arrange. If you want to rob a prison, you need a lot of preparation. Chunfeng street cell situation, when is the best time to do it, and the movement should not be too large. 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. This was the 3rd night, and it was also the night before Li Ming's execution. On this day, Su Yong swung his sword for several hours longer than usual. He didn't stop until a thought came to his mind. Open black lens bracket sword intent proficiency +1, sword intent level +1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV12, 012 thousandths. Sword moves. None. Will of all beings. 0. As the sword intent level increased, the sword intent in Su Yang's mind also increased by several percent in an instant. Feeling the power of the sword, Su Yong felt more and more stable. This is his confidence to smooth out the injustices in the world. It is not very difficult to increase the level of sword intent. Every level up only increases the number of sword swings by 1,000 times. If he hadn't spent some time understanding this ability in this world when he first came to this world, his sword intent level would be even higher. Sword swing is also particular. You can't swing the sword indiscriminately, otherwise you won't be able to increase your proficiency. When he first came to this world, he just didn't master the essence of proficient sword swing, couldn't gain proficiency, and naturally couldn't increase sword intent. The predecessor of this body did not practice cultivation, and only read the books of sages, and wanted to follow the path of literature and Taoism. So the body is weak. When you first start swinging a sword, it is not bad to be able to swing 1,000 swords a day. The number of times I swung the sword in the back was more, the body became stronger, and the number of times I swung the sword every day gradually increased. Now, he will definitely not continue to follow the literary path. Swinging a sword can improve the sword intent, so why would he take such a troublesome road? If he had to practice, he would definitely choose body training. It's a pity that body training is too slow in his opinion. Even if ordinary people have enough training resources to train their bodies, it will take at least a year to break through the 9th rank. And you must keep practicing every day. Wouldn't that conflict with his sword swing? For a year, he didn't even know what realm he had raised to when he swung his sword, so there was no need to waste time in body training. However, apart from practicing body training techniques, it would be good if you can find something that can directly increase your physical fitness. Suddenly, the sword intent he had left in the cell was touched. Su Yong put away the thousands of thoughts in his mind. Randomly put the sword back into his waist and rushed towards the cell. Prison robbery. That is a serious crime. Chapter 8. This child must be removed. Chunfeng Street, cell. The members of Junwutang who were guarding the cell were all lying on the ground staggeringly. Zhonghu is also included. After almost everyone in the cell fell down, the 3 men in black rushed in very quickly. The goal is very clear. Take the key, open the cell, check the restricted area one by one, until you see Li Ming, Li He, and Li Haixi. At this time, only Li He was still awake among the 3, and Li Ming and Li Haixi also fell asleep. Master Li He. Don't talk too much, just take us away. After seeing these people, Li He was overjoyed, but he didn't want to stay here for a second. Thinking of that terrifying guy, he was afraid of sudden changes. The three nodded, and then quickly took Li He and the other three, ready to leave. It's just that when they just arrived at the door of the cell, they found a young man sitting leisurely on a chair by the door. After seeing this person, Li He's already limp body became even softer. The hope that had just been ignited was instantly shattered. It's wrong to rob a prison. The three of them didn't know Su Yang, so how could they talk nonsense with him? The three of them looked at each other and planned to do it directly. But in the next moment, they followed in Li He's footsteps. Several sword intents pierced through the limbs of the three in an instant. Bang bang bang. Ah! The three of them fell down in response, lying on the ground and crying in pain. Prison robbery. It's a capital crime, and 3 more heads will be chopped off tomorrow. Su Yang said slowly, the scene in front of him was created by him, so how could it touch him? 3 days ago, when Li He dared to kill him, he was thinking that the Li family might send someone to rob the prison. So when Li He was sent here, he arranged the sword intent in the cell by the way. When there is an abnormality, he can perceive it. The scope and time of sword intent layout are naturally limited. You can only stay within a kilometer radius of him for 1 day. His house is next to the prison cell, the distance is enough. The problem of time, he would come to the cell every day to rearrange the sword intent, which can also be solved. After the 3 of them were settled, Su Yang fetched another basin of clear water, and gave it to Zhonghu, the guard, and the others. Who dares to attack the members of Junwutang? Feeling the cold, Zhonghu jumped up from the ground instantly. Seeing Su Yang splashing water on him, he didn't react for a while. After seeing the surrounding situation again, his brain was running fast, and he quickly understood what was going on. My lord, please punish this subordinate for dereliction of duty. Zhonghu bowed his head and pleaded guilty, his face blushing. He was ashamed in his heart for making such a big mistake among the guards. If Li Ming ran away, he couldn't even forgive himself. Su Yang said, it's okay, I don't blame you for this matter, clean it up, and lock these people up again by the way, and see if we can interrogate some information from them. Zhonghu nodded very seriously. No. After settling the matter here, Su Yang left directly. Just like that, the night passed quickly. In the Li mansion, Li Yijang had been waiting all night. When the day dawned, and there was still no news, he knew what the outcome of this matter would be. Li Yijang slowly closed his eyes. The commander of the army is just the commander of the army. It's really deceiving. Li Yijang was furious and couldn't help but slap the table in front of him. The table fell apart in an instant, smashing into pieces. Time passed, the sun slowly rose from bottom to top, and soon reached mid-air. When the sun comes to mid-sky, the Pingshan City Execution Center is already full of voices. The streets stretched all the way until the execution ground was full of civilians. Today is a big day for the civilians of Pingshan City. Poison son of the Li family, the day of Li Ming's execution. In Pingshan City, how many people were bullied by Li Ming? Too much. Li Ming is not some idle dandy, he is very crazy and ruthless. If there is any obstacle to what he wants to achieve, the vicious method will make the obstacle disappear instantly. Apart from those who hated Li Ming, there were also many people who watched the excitement. This is the 3rd son of the Li family. A big shot in Pingshan City. If the government doesn't even care about the identity of this kind of person, then some arrogant guys behind them will have to restrain themselves. Soon, a group of condemned prisoners was pressed up. When a series of teams of up to 6 people appeared, the onlookers were rather puzzled. Why are there so many people? Aren't there only 2 someday? Yeah. In the streets and alleys, the people watching the excitement whispered to each other. But no matter what, they were most concerned about Li Ming. As long as Li Ming is around, it's fine. Without Li Ming, no matter how many death row prisoners there are, they will not be satisfied. At this moment, the onlookers had only one thought in their minds. Watching Li Ming being beheaded. Only the beheading of Li Ming is what they want to see now. All other things must be put aside. On the execution platform, the executioner has long been waiting, with big arms and round waists, and a slender body. 6 people were pressed onto the execution platform and knelt on the ground. At this time, the 6 of them were already panicking. The 4 people whose limbs were crippled by Su Yang couldn't struggle. Yes, Li Ming can. Now he is not as arrogant and domineering as he was at the beginning. The whole body was trembling, and he looked around. Saw his father from the crowd. Dad, help me. I don't want to die. At this moment, he couldn't care too much, he only had one thought, and he didn't want to die. And his father is his last straw. In a recent attic. Li Yijang's hand holding the chair tightened suddenly. Save. How? Ming, as a father, how could he not want to save you? Can't do it for the parent. Pain. Li Yijang felt extremely sad at this moment. Knowing this, he would definitely not let Li Ming be too unscrupulous. He looked at the man sitting in the main seat on the execution ground. Very young, very young. At this moment, the other party was also looking at him, with a faint smile on his face. Especially the smiling eyes made Li Yijang suppress his anger instantly. Terrible young man. This is Li Yijang's positioning of Su Yang. Especially Su Yang's attitude at this time seems to be waiting for him to make a mistake, waiting for him to show his feet. He wants to uproot the Li family. Just looking at each other, Li Yijang was sweating coldly. Su Yang must die. Otherwise, the Li family would not just die of Li Ming. In an instant, Li Yijang's brain woke up. Unprecedented sobriety. Without anger. He got up and left, and asked his servants to prepare to collect the body. He couldn't do anything, and he didn't want to watch his son die in front of him. When Li Yijang left, Li Ming who watched all this fell into despair. On the high platform, Su Yang's heart moved slightly. He is a ruthless character, he can bear it. I thought he would not be able to help but jump out, it's a pity. Ordinary people may not see anything in these secret confrontations. But some high-level executives in Pingshan City, and even other envoys and commanders in Junwu Hall can see it. The Li family, Li Yijang, lost. Lost to this newly appointed envoy. A young man who has kept a low profile for 5 years and made big things right after taking office. Then follow the normal process. Convicted of a crime and beheaded. The criminal, Li He, failed to assassinate the soldier in charge 3 days ago, and Su Yang was executed. Criminals, Li Shan, Li He, and Li Tang, broke into the cell of Chunfeng Hall last night, trying to rob the prison, but were captured by the envoys and executed. Okay. It turns out that they are all lackeys of the Li family. I said how could there be a few more people, good job. I still want to rescue Li Ming, in my next life. My lord, let's execute. Quote. Chapter 9 Do you still know it? Open black lens bracket The will of all beings. Eliminate evil close black lens bracket. Difficulty level. LV6. Completion. 90%. Reward. Will of all beings X5. On the execution platform, the moment Li Ming's head fell, Su Yang's mind received a reminder of the completion of the task. 5 streaks of white gas appeared in his mind. At the same time, there was a message. Open black lens bracket The will of all beings. The will of all beings casts sword moves. The meaning of sword moves is born from the heart, and the power of sword moves is limited to the will of all beings and the sword intent. Close black lens bracket. Analysis. Use the will of all beings to create the sword move you want. The power is determined by the number of wills of all beings, but the upper limit of power cannot exceed the level of sword will. After sorting out the information in his mind, Su Yang also understood the purpose of the will of all living beings. Is used to create sword moves. The more will the sentient beings have, the stronger the sword moves will be. What kind of sword move will be formed is up to him to decide. The function of the sword move is to enable him to fully display the power of the sword. If you simply use the sword intent, you can only display 10% of the power of the sword intent. Combined with sword moves of the same level as the sword intent, the full power of the sword intent can be brought into play. There are only 5 wisps of sentient beings' will, and they can't reach his current level of sword intent. On the execution platform, Su Yang looked at the sky. There is still a lot of white gas above, wandering in the sky in strands, making Su Yang visible but out of reach. Solving Li Ming's task only eliminated a small part of the white gas. If these white gases represent the will of all beings, then how can he eliminate it? Su Yang was lost in thought. The key point Su Yang has already understood, and gradually he has an uncertain answer in his heart. The task of the will of all beings appears on the condition that there are enough people who want to accomplish the same thing, and their will is strong enough. Will the white gas floating above be the various appeals of the people of Pingshan City? It's just that there are not many people with the same idea, and it is not strong enough, so there is no way to form a task. Then if he solves their problems for the people, can he eliminate these white gases and thus gain the will of all beings? Su Yang faintly found such an answer in his heart. He doesn't know if it will work, but he will know if he tries it. He will not help with some trivial matters, but supporting the people, redressing grievances, and solving some problems of being oppressed is exactly what he wants to do. The sufferings suffered by the common people were not caused by Li Ming alone. Under the influence of Li Ming, there are many dudes in the city. Zhenwuxi is just the name of the organization in this world. Switching to the ancient times that Su Yang knew in his previous life, it was a collection of government offices, yamen, and fast-catching professions. Then solve various cases in Pingshan City first, such as being bullied, being wronged, and some cases that have not been investigated. Regardless of whether he can obtain the will of all living beings, these things are also what he wants to do. Criminals, bullies, and their protective umbrellas are all targets of Su Yang's suppression. The people have nowhere to appeal, so he will support the people. Why should honest people be bullied? Why do businessmen who work hard and do their own stable business be suppressed by various unspoken rules? Why should ordinary people suffer grievances? After the accident in his previous life, he was always thinking, longing for someone who could stand up to support him and give him justice. He just needs a fact. But it didn't. Maybe there are good officials, but he can't get in touch with him, and those people won't let him get in touch. Since he can hold an umbrella for others in this life, he is willing to stand up. Looking at the look of the people under the execution platform looking forward to it with great anticipation. Su Yang's Taoist heart became a little bit firmer. And he didn't do these things purely for the sake of the world. It is also for the tone in my heart. He is not happy to see those misbehaving, so he has to take care of it when he sees this kind of thing. Also for that mission, the will of all beings. Li Ming bought fertile land at a low price and returned it to farmers. Freedom to set up stalls in herb-picking Renfang City. Li Ming bought the store at a low price and returned it to the former store. Quote. After beheading, Su Yang pronounced the verdict sentence by sentence. Li Ming returned all the things he took with his power. Su Yang is not afraid that the Li family will not want to, he also prefers that the Li family can jump out, and he can clean up the Li family more easily, without wasting time collecting evidence like now. After all the sentences are pronounced, the execution will pass this time. Thousands of people left in cheers. Su Yang's appearance and reputation will resound throughout Pingshan City after this. Even covering the surrounding cities. On the way back to Spring Breeze Hall, Zhang Hu straightened his waist and followed behind Su Yang. When he looked at Su Yang with his eyes, the meaning of admiration and admiration was very obvious. Zhang Hu, how do you think I did this time? The sudden question made Zhang Hu pause. I don't know. I just admire that adults can do things that other adults dare not do. Zhang Hu spoke truthfully. If it were you, if you had the strength not to fear the Li family, would you do this? I can. What if the Li family gave you tens of thousands of taels of silver, and gave you more cultivation resources? What if your boss orders you not to do it? What if Li Ming and you have no enmity, but after you kill each other, you will usher in endless revenge? Will you still insist on doing this? Will you seek justice for those oppressed people? Su Yang walked forward slowly, asking each word slowly. Every word pierced straight into Zhang Hu's heart. The further he walked, the more silent Zhang Hu became. At the beginning, he could firmly say yes. After all, if he has the strength to not be afraid of the Li family, why not do it? But after hearing the benefits, coercion, and consequences, he began to have concerns in his mind and began to weigh gains and losses. Slowly, his thoughts became unstable. Yes, even if he has the strength not to fear the Li family, there are still more problems. So, Master Su Yang insisted on doing this under the temptation, pressure, and consequences. I don't need you to give me answers to these questions, I only look at actions. What I want to do is to be able to hear the voice of the weak where I can see it. Zhang Hu, who was slightly confused, woke up suddenly. When he hesitated, it was an answer in itself. Su Yong took out a small box from his arms. This is your reward for this action. 8th grade tiger bone pill. My lord, this is too precious. Cultivate well, you will be useful in many places in the future, don't let me down. Su Yong handed it to Zhang Hu, and then left quickly. This tiger bone pill is an internal alchemy that speeds up qi refining, and it has no effect on him. The body refining pills in this world must be used in conjunction with the body refinement exercises. It won't work if you just take the pills without practicing the body refinement exercises. This made Su Yong quite distressed. Zhang Hu was holding the tiger bone pill in place, staring at Su Yong who was leaving, and the small box was tightened more and more tightly by him. The intensity of sword practice in the past 2 days has been too high, and the muscles and joints of the arms have started to ache again. I heard that there is a rejuvenation hall on Chunfeng Street. Its healing medicine is the best in Pingshan City. You can go and see it. Walking in the alley, Su Yong felt a little helpless because of the soreness in his arm caused by the intensive sword practice these 2 days. My body is still too fragile, otherwise I can swing tens of thousands of swords in a day. When Su Yong came to the street, the people who saw him gave way respectfully and shouted that they had seen you. Su Yong can see the respect from the heart in the eyes of the common people. This feeling is really comfortable. Rejuvenation Hall. When Su Yong stepped into the Hall of Rejuvenation, Lu Yuro's eyes lit up at the front desk. Chapter 10 Grandpa, I want to learn alchemy. Master Su, what do you want to buy? Su Yong was not surprised to see that the other party knew him. With his current reputation, it was normal. I heard that you have a very good topical healing medicine, which is specially used to treat muscle soreness, promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. The name is, One Day Huichun Powder, is that right? Lu Yuro nodded and said, yes, there is indeed this topical healing medicine, but we also have better Shanshendan, which is about twice as effective as Yuichunsen. If Mr. Su needs it, I can give you a few for free. Hearing that Su Yong needed healing medicine, Lu Yuro immediately launched Huichuntang's town store treasure, even afraid that Su Yong would worry about the price, so he directly said that it could be delivered for free. Su Yong smiled. No need, just give me a day to rejuvenate the spring, and it will be enough for 7 days. Shanshendan. This is the most common and effective medicine for internal healing. With his status as a military envoy, he can receive one in Junwu Division every month. The key is that he doesn't have the strength to speed up the refining of the pills that have already been taken internally. The imported pills all have spiritual power. It is very slow to be absorbed and digested by one's own body. It needs energy to speed up the refining. If there are warriors to help him, it is fine. But now he doesn't have the kind of person who can completely rest assured that the other party will put his true energy into his body. This is a matter where a slight mistake can kill someone. He would rather slow down than ask someone for help. In addition, he just wanted to restore the overworked right arm muscles and joints, and it was not a serious injury. It's better to use external healing medicine with better effect. This, Lu Yuro hesitated, but the effect of this mountain sage pill will be better. Mr. Su, you are helping the people to eliminate harm. I should give a few mountain sage pills from Huichun Hall, and you don't have to worry about it. Su Yong explained. That's not the case, it's just that my situation is special, and externally applied healing medicine will be more effective for me. After hearing the words, Lu Yuro realized that, as Su Yong, the choice of these 2 healing medicines would not be affected by money. She turned around to get the medicine, and after a while, she brought 21 palm-sized small medicine bags to the counter. One day Huichun San, 21 pairs, lay down on the injured area every morning, noon and evening, and just wrap it with gauze. Okay, thanks. Su Yong took out 2 taels of silver from his pocket, plus 100 wen, and put them on the counter. This day Huichun San, 100 yuan a pair, the price is just right. Lu Yuro pushed the money back and said, Lord Su, take this money back. You beheaded Li Ming, a villain. Not only did it make people happy, but it also indirectly saved my grandfather and me. Lu Yuro looked at Su Yong sincerely, seriousness written on her little face. Su Yong was dumbfounded. Looking at Lu Yuro's expression, he knew that if he didn't accept it, the other party would definitely feel bad in the future. Okay, Just this one time. Don't accept my money next time, or I can only buy medicine in another place. After Su Yong finished speaking, he took the money and medicine in his hands and made a joke. Understand, understand, don't make an example. Watching Su Yong leave, Lu Yuro felt turmoil in her heart. Master Su is really different. Then she collected the money and rushed into the backyard quickly. Grandpa, Grandpa, don't you want to teach me how to make medicine? I want to learn how to make medicine for external application. Hey, don't panic, don't overturn my alchemy stove, didn't you say you will study at night? Besides, the spring hall is still open this time, you have to go to the front and watch. No, close the door first, I will learn now. Nonsense, what if someone needs medical treatment? This is the step of refining topical medicine. You should read it first and try again at night. Good. Lu Yuro grabbed the booklet and returned to the counter happily. Lu Kongshan couldn't stop shaking his head in the courtyard. This little girl, you think you can do it as soon as you think about it, and you didn't want to learn it before. Could it be that this time you saw me being bullied so badly? I want to learn something and stand up for me later. Lu Kongshan thought happily. Yes, this good granddaughter must want to learn so much for me. Spring Breeze Hall. Zhang Qing, call people to gather. Following Su Yang's order to go down, the entire Spring Breeze Hall soldiers quickly assembled. Faster than ever. After the assembly was over, Su Yang glanced at his 112 subordinates. Not bad. The spirit is better than ever. The waists are straight, gathered together, exuding a special atmosphere. It's like a belief, but it's still relatively weak. This is actually because his action this time encouraged these soldiers. They were originally similar to the police, managing law and order, punishing evil and promoting good. But when facing some powerful figures, they can only watch them do evil, they can't stop them, and they dare not stop them. That was a denial of what they believed in. But this time, Su Yang, desperately, insisted on getting rid of the biggest evil in Pingshan City. The broken beliefs in the hearts of all soldiers in Chunfengtang are being recast. Zhang Hu is out. A tall and straight figure stood out from the queue, standing straight at the front. From now on, I will appoint you as the temporary deputy commander, and have the right to order other corporal leaders and soldiers. Solve the remaining problems of Chunfeng Street within 1 month. If you can't solve it, you can come to me. From now on, I will be your backer, and you don't have to fear any power, understand? Zhang Hu knelt on one knee. Thank you, Commander-in-Chief. The rest of the soldiers also shouted, understood. If Su Yang said that in front of them before doing this, they just scoff. Let them act according to the rules, and Su Yang will cover them up if they mess with someone. Fart. Now say so. Really fragrant, they also have a backstage. They have witnessed what happened in the past few days, and they are even more witnesses. The 7th-rank assassin of the Li family was easily subdued by Su Yang. That means that Su Yang's strength has already stood at the top in Pingshan City. The 7th rank is the upper limit of Pingshan City, but not Su Yang's upper limit. They all understand this truth. The overlord of Pingshan City, the Li family can't do anything to Su Yang. Do they need to take care of anything else in Pingshan City? With Su Yang standing behind them, they can completely let go and solve any injustice. Well, I hope you are not just shouting slogans. In addition to solving some existing problems, your cultivation progress must keep up. In the evening, I will go to the commander to apply for a batch of bone-strengthening powder. I will indeed be your backer, but I can't protect you all the time, and when I do something, I have enough strength to do it. Well, let Zhang Hu tell you a few words, I'm going first. After Su Yang finished speaking, he walked back to his courtyard. Leave a group of fiery soldiers behind. He didn't intend to listen to what Zhang Hu would say next. The main thing is what Zhang Hu will do next, whether he can clean up Chunfeng Street. Doing this will benefit the people and verify his speculation. To solve the problems that the common people need to solve, can we obtain the will of all living beings? Or can it only be obtained through missions? He needs to verify this point. After finishing these, Su Yang went back to his courtyard to apply medicine to his right arm. Excessive exercise is still not enough, I have to rest for 2 days. Feeling the pain in the right arm joint, Su Yang also had some headaches. My body is too fragile, I have to find a way to solve it in the future. As long as his physique can be increased, the speed at which he swings his sword to improve his sword will inevitably be faster. One day rejuvenation powder was applied by Su Yang to various joints of his right arm. In an instant, a hot feeling appeared in my heart. The effect of this medicine. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 11 Find ways to solve physical problems. This medicine is so effective. This day, Hui-chun powder took effect immediately after being applied to various joints, and Su Yang could clearly feel the powerful medicinal effect. The damaged joint in the right arm has been repaired, and the muscle soreness is subsiding. The effect of the medicine is so powerful. I wanted to take a day off at first, but now it seems that I don't need it. Just in the past 5 minutes, Su Yang moved his arm again, and he no longer felt the soreness from overexercising. Works surprisingly well. Su Yang thought about it, and felt normal again. This day's Hui-chun powder belongs to the 9th grade healing medicine. 9th rank warriors are enough to use. Not to mention that he is an ordinary person. This kind of high-end healing medicine, he is used by an ordinary person to treat overexercise, isn't that easy? This is a very normal thing. Now what Su Yang is thinking about is how to get something like a pill that can directly increase his physique. Even if the world's body training methods and body training pills need to be used together, it should not be absolute. After thinking about it, Su Yang intends to collect information on this aspect. After all, he has only been in this world for a short time, and he doesn't know much about it. For now, let's use the healing medicine first. His physical body is too weak, only comparable to ordinary people. In the future, his sword will become stronger and stronger, and the enemies he encounters may also become stronger. You can't let your physical body hold you back. Of course, it would be better if the enemy could be dealt with one sword. I don't know if there are medicinal liquid pills for body training in Hui-chun this time. You can ask next time. After waiting for another 10 minutes, Su Yang felt that his right arm had completely recovered. So he came to the courtyard and began to swing the sword again. His strength is invincible in Pingshan City, but in the entire Great Sha, he is still too weak. At least Daxia Invincible can relax a bit, right? What's more, it is said that there are immortals in this world. After Su Yang gave a lecture and left, Zhonghu also started to act according to Su Yang's intention. The first thing they need to do is deal with the backlog. Before they didn't dare to offend, so they didn't dare to deal with many things. This situation has been going on for a long time, even if there are some things that can be solved, they don't want to solve it. Anyway, you can get a salary if you mix it up, so why do you have to do things? The upper and the lower work, what happens at the top and what happens at the bottom naturally. Before, Su Yang's father, Su Yu, had only one word in Chunfangtang, mess, and their subordinates followed suit. Now that Su Yang is covering him and wants to do practical things, it is naturally different. So, Wuxi of Chunfang Street Town, no 112 people collectively mobilized to clean up the entire Chunfang Street. Zhonghu led a team of people, shuttled vigorously through the streets. Soon came to a shop. Shopkeeper Lu, 3 months ago, your son injured someone else, and you will be imprisoned for 1 month according to the severity of the injury, and you will be compensated 20 taels of silver for the injured. Shopkeeper Lu's complexion changed. He was a little angry when he saw the soldiers of Chunfangtang, but then he thought of the ruthless man who dared to kill Li Ming. The anger on his face disappeared instantly, replaced by a smiling face. My lords, according to the laws of Daxia, people who are in prison within 3 months can be released on bail. 10 taels a day, I am willing to pay 300 taels. Zhonghu frowned. Although he didn't want to let the other party go like this, the law of Daxia was indeed like this. Yes, remember, if you make another mistake within 1 year, you will be punished severely. Understand. Shopkeeper Lu took out 320 taels and handed it to Zhonghu. Although he suffered a heavy loss, he could only nod and bow to Zhonghu and send him off with a smile on his face. After Zhonghu left, Shopkeeper Lu's expression darkened immediately. 320 taels. 320 taels. My annual profit is only 1,000 taels. No matter how painful his heart is, he dare not provoke Su Yang at this moment, even Su Yang's subordinates. But one person is different. Nizi. Lao Li. Where is my naughty son now? The servants in the house shrank their necks, The old man should be in the flower viewing building now. Shopkeeper Lu gritted his teeth when he heard the words. Today, I will let him know why the flowers are so popular in the flower appreciation building. Close the door, you come with me to find him. Quote. After Zhang Hu left from shopkeeper Lu, he continued to enforce the law in this way. It was just so fast that he had to stop. As the cases have been dealt with one by one, there are only 6 wounding cases, and he now carries thousands of taels of silver. After seeing this sum of money, Zhang Hu felt a little incredible. The money comes too fast. Their monthly salary is only about 5 taels, when will he receive the 1,000 taels? Zhang Hu's heart was beating wildly, with an irrepressible urge. Take a few deep breaths to stabilize your mind. Let's go, send the compensation to the injured first. Zhang Hu led the team to continue the operation, sending money from door to door. When the families of those injured received this compensation that could not have been received otherwise. An old man was moved to tears, knelt down in front of Zhang Hu and kept thanking Zhang Hu. Thank you, Mr. Guan. Thank you, Mr. Guan. Zhang Hu felt very uncomfortable watching this scene. What kind of pain did their previous inaction make the people suffer? The other soldiers who followed were also in mixed moods. Old man, please get up quickly, this is impossible. We are Gen Wuxi, the soldiers of the Spring Breeze Hall. We should have done these things. It is our dereliction of duty that we have delayed until now. If you want to thank you for all this, you can thank Lord Su Yang. If there is no Lord Su Yang to lead us, we don't know when we'll wake up. Quote. Zhang Hu sent the compensation he got one by one. The families of these injured people were all poor, basically they were from poor families, and the medical treatment might have dragged down their families. The arrival of these compensations can finally alleviate their poverty and make their life a little easier. There are only 6 families, but Zhang Hu and others feel very uncomfortable. Brothers, we are the only support for these people. Zhang Hu said something with a complicated mood, which made everyone fall into deep thought. Walking on the way back to Chunfengtang, they gradually became taller and taller, and they understood what they should do in the future. Chapter 12. It's hard to be an upright official. In the compound, Su Yang is waving a long sword, increasing his sword intent. The upper blank air suddenly dissipated a little, turning into a wisp of sentient beings will and blending into his mind. At this point, Su Yang understood that the wish of the people is the source of Bai Qi. When the task appeared, it was the common wish of many people. Such as hundreds of people want to punish Li Ming. Not for a while. Zhang Hu walked in from outside the compound. My lord, we are currently solving 6 wounding cases. This is the money handed over by the wounded in order to avoid being imprisoned. The total is 1,200 taels. Zhang Hu opened a box, which contained a pile of silver ingots. Su Yang frowned, how could there be so much money? Tell them to rectify the law and order. Is this to collect black money? Not right. Soon he thought of Daxia law again, and understood what was going on. This was a fee to subsidize the soldiers. It can be regarded as one of the benefits that the great Xia dynasty gave to the soldiers of the Junwu division. According to my knowledge, the military soldier pays 5 taels of silver every month, and the corps leader pays 15 taels of silver every month, is that right? Yes, my lord. How about this, 20% of it will be divided among the brothers, you will take 10%, and then take 50% to buy cultivation resources for the brothers, and the last 20% will belong to me. Su Yang made arrangements with a few simple words. Zhang Hu stepped forward slightly at this time and said, My lord, this is absolutely impossible. According to previous regulations, the envoy will get 50%, and the envoy will divide the rest. Su Yang said slowly, Then I will take 30% out of my pocket and give it to my brothers to practice. This matter is settled. I'll give you the resources to practice, but I don't want to see waste appearing. Suppressing martial arts soldiers, how can you suppress martial arts if you don't have enough force? Let's do it. Money is not too important to him at present. Having more powerful and obedient subordinates may be the most beneficial to him in the future. Zhang Hu was moved. He had been in the Junwu division for so long, and he finally saw the reason why he wanted to come in. Zhang Hu knelt down on one knee. No. Then he began to take out 30% of the silver taels, 10% for himself, and the remaining 20% for the brothers. That is 240 taels. He took 10 people out, and each person could get 24 taels, which was nearly 5 times higher than their monthly salary. Zhang returned to the front of the team, and he didn't hide his expectations from his subordinates. Repeat what Su Yang said just now. Seeing the joy of the crowd, Zhang gradually said with sharp eyes, Master Su Yang cultivates us like this, we must not let Master Su Yang down. Go, continue to deal with the cases. I don't want to keep these backlog cases at all. Zhang words made everyone break away from the great joy, and the process of solving the 6 cases flashed again. For the rich businessmen, they just lost a sum of money, but those poor families will only suffer more after being hurt. The backlog of cases is basically this. The poor have nowhere to seek justice. Even if you have a little money, you can make the government come forward to solve it. Only the cases of the poor will be backlogged and left alone. Let's go. Give the common people justice. A group of 11 people walked outside. There are still 9 other teams active in Chunfeng Street like them. Their purpose is only one, to return justice to the people and make up for their previous inaction. Just one afternoon. Chunfeng Street, Zhen Wuxi's soldiers became famous. Not only is he unrivaled in the limelight in Chunfeng Street, but he is praised by the people, and has even begun to be talked about by the people of other streets in comparison with his own street. But in contrast, the people in the other 5 streets of Pingshan City were a little unhappy. How come the soldiers of the Wuxi in Chunfeng Street town do practical things? Warrior soldiers in our street town eat dry food. On the bright side, the people dare not be too presumptuous. After all, since ancient times, the people have not fought with the officials. But in private, this is the capital for chatting after dinner. On this day, the military soldiers of Chunfeng Street town worked harder than ever. Brother Hu, I have never felt so comfortable like today. The grateful eyes of the people make me feel so worth it. That's right, this reminds me of the reason why I joined the Junwu division. Isn't it because I can't understand those guys who bully the weak with the strong, and want to teach them a legal lesson? Well, keep it up, this is just the beginning, and don't be too complacent. You guys look at the remaining 3 cases, do you dare to solve them? Zhang patted the last 3 cases in front of everyone, making everyone calm down slightly. The last 3 cases involved other envoys. It wasn't done by other soldiers in charge, but it was also done by people close to them. In the past, this kind of matter would be left alone, and it would not be investigated and dealt with at all. But now, seeing the silence of the crowd, Zhang continued, if you have enough strength to deal with the possible consequences, will you deal with it? That's no use thinking about it, it will definitely be. So, our strength is still not enough. After the case in hand is finished, we must hurry up and practice. Now I will ask Mr. Su Yang for instructions. In the courtyard, Su Yang was wielding his sword. One day passed, and 3 wisps of sentient beings will appeared in his mind again. There are already 9 strands. The courtyard door creaked, and Zhang pushed the door open. My lord, there are a total of 63 cases, 60 cases have been resolved, and there are 3 cases that have not been resolved. A total of 3,400 taels of silver has been obtained today. Yes. Su Yang had stopped practicing his sword at this time, and said, what's wrong with the remaining 3 cases? Su Yang's heart moved, and he also sighed secretly. No wonder since ancient times it is difficult to be a clean official. Working normally, he can get 680 taels of silver a day, and if it is divided in half, it is 1700 taels. What's more, if you want to be greedy, wouldn't it be easier? Zhang took a deep breath. The remaining 3 cases involve the military envoys of Qingxi Street and the envoys of Taohua Street. Su Yang nodded. Well, I will do it with you tomorrow, and then I will bring someone to follow me to find the commander. Zhang took a deep breath. We want to capture the leader. Su Yang has a black line. What are you thinking? Go get the cultivation resources. Zhang scratched his head in embarrassment. It seems that he wanted to go wrong. Su Yang took them to the Wuxi headquarters in Pingshan town soon, and met Zhang Ziwu. After seeing Su Yang's strength, Zhang Ziwu did not look like a boss in front of Su Yang. When Su Yang asked for cultivation resources, he agreed without saying a word. Under normal circumstances, these cultivation resources are firmly controlled by Zhang Ziwu, and most of them are for his subordinates to practice. Don't give it to other envoys, but the portion is very small, and it didn't follow the regulations. This time Su Yong opened his mouth, and naturally it was a full month's share. Even when Su Yong said he would buy it, he directly agreed. So Su Yong successfully got enough bone-strengthening powder for 112 people to practice for 7 days. After solving the problems of his subordinates, it is time to deal with his own problems. Commander Zhang, I would like to ask, is there anything in Junwu Division that can directly improve physical fitness? Direct absorption. Do you mean that it is not combined with body training exercises? Zhang Ziwu thought for a while and said, you're probably talking about the secret recipe for a special medicinal bath. Su Yang's eyes lit up. That's right. I have one of this kind of thing here, but the effect is not very good, and it is only used by warriors who have not yet entered the product. Chapter 13 Spirit Body Medicinal Bath. That's right, that's what I want, let me explain in detail. Su Yang's eyes lit up. Isn't this what he needs? Zhang Ziwu is a little strange. Su Yang's strength still needs this thing. But it may also be for subordinates or other people. There is a prescription in the treasury, called Lingshan Medicinal Bath Recipe. It needs to be soaked for half an hour every day, and the physical fitness will be enhanced, but it cannot be used as a product. It can also be helpful for apprentices who are just starting to practice martial arts. Su Yong said happily. Where is this prescription? Wait a minute, I'll have someone transcribe a copy. You can't make this medicated bath yourself, you have to ask a pharmacist to make it for you. This prescription is a mixture of poison and tonic. After Zhang Ziwu finished speaking, he ordered to go on, and quickly copied a copy of the prescription for Su Yong. Understood, thank you. Su Yong took the prescription, thanked him, and left with his men. Can the strange boy stop the Li family's revenge? Don't look at the Li family seems to have nothing to do with Su Yong now. There was no movement, as if he recognized it. But it's just that the boss and the second child of the Li family haven't come back yet. After these two people came back, another storm was inevitable. Zhang Ziwu's eyes gradually cleared up, and he lay comfortably on the rocking chair in the courtyard. If the old man loses his ambition, wouldn't it be nice to live a stable life? As long as he doesn't do anything, the fire will not burn on him. That's what he thought. Return to Chunfengtang. Zhang Hu, spread the strong bones of the brothers. Brothers have worked hard today, rest early. Clear. The second day. Zhang Hu took people directly to Qingxi Street and Taohua Street to arrest people. Immediately put in jail after being caught. The 3 cases involved major crimes, not the kind that can be avoided by money. The bigger the backer behind you, the easier it is to be lawless, and the more unscrupulous you are to commit crimes. Soon, Li Xing, the soldier in charge of Qingxi Street, came to the door. Su Yong, isn't it too much for your people to come to my territory and arrest my people? Li Xing asked, frowning. Although he was angry, he didn't dare to take it out on Su Yong. He dared not offend fierce people who dared to oppose the Li family. When he came today, he didn't even intend to ask the teacher for his crimes, he just wanted to fish out his own people. Do you know what he committed? Su Yong gave him a faint look. No matter what happened, we are colleagues, so we can forget about some things. Li Xing's tone was pleading and submissive. Forget it. If everyone forgets, what's the use of this law? Or, the parents and officials of our people are used to oppress the people. Do you know what you're supposed to do? Are you worthy of this outfit? Su Yong sat on the main seat, his eyes were like open flames, and he spoke every word. He hates this kind of official who shields criminals very much. If it wasn't for his status, he would even wish to kill this guy with a single sword. Li Xing is unhappy, I need you to tell me how to do things. However, now that he has something to ask of Su Yong, he doesn't dare to express his thoughts. He could only suppress the anger in his heart. This is 3,000 taels of silver, how about making up for my mistakes? Li Xing took out 3 large banknotes worth 1,000 taels and placed them on the table. Su Yong did not hide his disgust, and said, before I change my mind, take your money and get out. Don't bully people too much. Li Xing also jumped up, and just about to say something harsh, he saw Su Yong looking at him with sword eyes. The calm sword-like eyes pierced into his heart fiercely. The calm killing intent made him sober up instantly. This is a ruthless person who dares to confront the Li family head-on. Thinking about this, Li Xing suddenly felt a chill down his back. What's going on with me? I can't find death. Silence is beyond silence. Grab the banknote on the table and turn to leave. At this moment, Ling Xiangbing, the commander of Taohua Street, stepped into the main entrance. The freezing atmosphere in the room fell on Ling Xiangbing. Look what I do. How could Ling Xiangbing not know about such an uncomfortable atmosphere? He regretted coming here in an instant. Judging from Li Xing's expression at this time, he probably didn't get any benefits. Are you also here to intercede? Su Yang's calm voice suddenly sounded, and Ling Xiangbing was startled by the suddenness. Li Xing left quickly at this time, and did not continue to embarrass himself here. Ling Xiangbing was a little embarrassed for a while, should he say it or not? Before he could think too much, Su Yang's voice sounded again. Go away or should I help you? Ling Xiangbing's face froze. Is this Su Yang so shameless? Su Yu is not like this. Looking at Su Yang's expression, Ling Xiangbing suppressed what he wanted to say. It's better not to say anything. Li Xing is devastated, how could he be better? Just like that, when he arrived at the door, Ling Xiangbing, who was scolded, turned and left without saying a word. Snort. Seeing this, Su Yang just snorted displeased ly. For corrupt officials and those who like to cover up, Su Yang has restrained himself by not drawing his sword directly. Su Yang admitted that this was influenced by his previous life. But in his opinion, there is nothing wrong with this. Didn't he just want to support the people and solve these guys who use their status to enjoy privileges and do anything wrong? Judging from his current growth rate, it's not that he doesn't need to make friends with others at all, but he can choose people who are useful and comfortable for him to make friends with. If he also goes to provide cover for those who committed crimes, what is the difference from the person who made himself a dead end in the previous life? After dismissing the two of them unceremoniously, the troublesome things he needs to solve today are gone. Then it's up to me. Su Yang got up from his seat and walked towards the street. If he wants to use the medicinal bath of the spiritual body, he needs a pharmacist to refine the medicinal bath for him. Otherwise, if you do it yourself, it is easy to cause accidents. But Su Yang also asked about it. Although the medicated bath is poisonous, it is not very toxic, but the skin will itch for 3 days, which is very uncomfortable. In this way, there will be no problem if it is handed over to outsiders to practice. The reason why this medicinal effect can strengthen the body. It will destroy the skin, damage the body, and then quickly repair it. Destroy, then repair, thereby improving physical fitness. So he needs to go to Huichun Hall to find someone to refine the medicine for him. The reputation of the master of Huichuntang is still very good. Not only is the refined medicine good, but the person is also a good person, an existence with true medical ethics. Come quickly to Huichun Hall. When he entered the pharmacy, it was still the same woman who received him last time. The small face is round and round, with a little baby fat, fair skin, bright eyes, red lips and white teeth. Standing there is a beautiful scenery, it looks pleasing to the eye, it is really beautiful. Especially this person can laugh, and it looks even better when he smiles. At this time, Lu Yuro greeted Su Yang with a smile. Master Su, I wonder if you are here this time. Is it not easy to use one day Huichun-san? Lu Yuro seemed a little worried that there was something wrong with the medicine. Su Yang hurriedly explained. No, one day rejuvenation powder is very useful, but I have other requirements, I wonder if Dr. Lu is here. Lu Yuro repeatedly said. Look for my grandfather, he is here, I will go and call him out. Before Su Yang could answer, Lu Yuro had already rushed in. Su Yang touched his nose, are you so impatient? Sure enough, the doctor is benevolent. Chapter 14 But Lord Su Yang wants it. Grandfather. Lu Kongshan was refining medicine in the courtyard when he heard his granddaughter yelling from afar. He inevitably has some headaches. This girl was not like this before. Lu Yuro came to the front. Grandpa, Master Su is looking for you. Lu Kongshan joked. Master Su came to me, why are you so excited? Didn't I just want to hurry up so as not to delay things? Oh, Grandpa, go quickly. Ha 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 good. After Su Yang waited for a while, Lu Kongshan walked out from the inner courtyard. Kaoman has met Mr. Su. When seeing Su Yang, Lu Kongshan bowed respectfully first. Not necessary in his capacity, but Su Yang deserves it. Dr. Lu doesn't have to be like this. Su Yang hurried forward to help. Lu Kongshan didn't care so much, he would accept it after the salute. I don't know why Master Su is looking for me. I have a prescription, and I need Dr. Lu to help me refine it. Do you think so? Su Yang took out the prescription from his arms. After reading it once, Lu Kongshan already knew it in his mind. No problem, but some of the medicinal materials may need to be purchased by Mr. Su at the Yam workshop. This result was also expected by Su Yang. Okay, don't worry about the medicinal materials, I will arrange them. This is a monthly fee. I will need to soak in the medicinal bath once a day for the next month. Su Yang took out 30 taels of silver, and Lu Kongshan paid about 500 yuan at a time. It is more troublesome to make a medicinal bath, so Su Yang calculated it based on 1 tael of silver. Master Su, take this back. Lu Kongshan pushed Yinliang back to Su Yang without thinking about it. Dr. Lu, you must collect this silver tael. You have paid for your hard work. After Su Yang finished speaking, he pushed the silver tael in front of Lu Kongshan again. Then turned and left. This is really a rare good official. Lu Kongshan couldn't help admiring Su Yang as he watched Su Yang go away. Lu Kongshan was sighing, and Lu Yuro came out from behind. Grandpa, what kind of prescription is this? Show me. This is not a prescription, but a medicinal bath prescription, which is used for refining medicinal baths. Medical bath. Why don't you take off your clothes and soak? I also want to learn this medicated bath recipe. No, this is Mr. Su's stuff. If you want to learn it, you must first ask Mr. Su for instructions. However, my Lu family also has a medicated bath prescription. The effect is better than this one. Do you want to learn it? Back to Chunfeng Hall, Su Yang immediately called Zhang Hu. Let him go to the Yam workshop to buy medicinal materials for himself. Yamfeng is the place where people who go to the mountains to collect herbs gather. Buy according to the prescription. The more the better, it takes a month's supply. If it is not enough, you can communicate with the herb collectors and pay more attention when you go to the mountains to collect herbs. After you buy it, send it to Huichun Hall. Clear. Zhang Hu went out with a list of medicinal materials that needed to be purchased. If it is just a list of medicinal materials, the prescription will not be revealed. Any prescription is studied for a long time, constantly thinking about the properties of the medicine, the time of exercise, what kind of medicinal materials are added at what time, and so on. Very complicated. Zhang Hu quickly rushed from Chunfeng Street to Yamfeng with a team of people. It is very easy to buy most of the medicinal materials. But I ran into a problem when purchasing the last commonly used yam called Baiyukao. The Baiyukao here in Shanyaofeng has been ordered by a medicine hall today. Well, I don't need too many, how about giving me 10? If you lose 10 plants, it shouldn't affect much. I'll buy the rest later. No. Since I have already promised others, how can I break my word? Wait. Are you a soldier of Chunfengtang? The herb pickers noticed the marks on Zhang Hu's clothing. Zhang Hu was a little confused. Then you purchased these medicinal materials for Mr. Su Yang. The herbal collector continued to ask. That's right. Zhang Hu nodded. Okay, here are 10 white moon grasses. You need a total of 30 white moon grasses, right? Come and pick them up tomorrow. After Zhang Hu confirmed, the herb collector who had been reluctant to let go immediately changed his attitude, and even asked Zhang Hu to come and pick it up tomorrow. Zhang Hu was a little at a loss for a while, but he soon understood. Su Yang helped many people in Pingshan City to solve Li Ming, including this yam shop. How much? I don't charge money, I can't help Mr. Su Yang, but I can still help with Baiyukao. The herbal picker shook his head directly. Zhang Hu took out 10 taels of silver. White moon grass is a relatively commonly used medicinal material, but it also has great medicinal value. The normal price of a plant is 1 tael of silver. Master Su said that we don't take a single cent from the common people. As subordinates, we must obey orders. Zhang Hu sincerely handed over the money to the herb pickers. The herb collector's heart suddenly warmed up, not because of the money, but Su Yang's words gave him an unprecedented feeling. Okay, I'll take the money. If you need any medicinal materials in the future, just ask me. I will do my best. The herbal picker said solemnly, if it wasn't for the white moon grass being ordered by a medicine hall today, he would definitely hand over all the white moon grass in his hand to Zhang. Then Zhang took all the purchased medicinal materials and left here in a happy mood. After a while, after Zhang sent all the medicinal materials to Hui Chuntang, he went back to report the progress of the work. The day flies by. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword Intent LV10 5431 12,000ths. Sword moves. None. Will of all beings. 9. After a busy day, Su Yang put away his long sword and went to Huichun Hall according to the agreed time. As soon as he arrived outside Huichun Hall, a female voice came. Master Su, you are here. Grandpa has prepared the medicinal bath, so go in quickly. Okay. Su Yang looked at Lu Yuro, and seeing Lu Yuro was smiling, he also responded with a smile. Enter the inner courtyard. I saw Lu Kongshan at a glance. Then, under the reception of Lu Kongshan, he entered a pharmacy. Small but well equipped. Medicine barrel, steamer, firewood. Because when the medicinal bath is soaking, firewood needs to be added continuously to ensure the temperature of the medicinal bath, so that the medicinal effect can be fully exerted, so Su Yang did not soak in his own home. Under Lu Kongshan's guidance, he took off his clothes and entered the medicine barrel. Master Su, there will be tingling and itching when soaking. This is the feeling when the effect of the medicine is exerted. You need to be patient. Clear. When he got the prescription, Su Yang had already memorized the information. Next, Lu Kongshan added semi-finished medicinal materials to the medicine barrels one by one. Is a medicinal material that has been refined. Next, as long as the temperature of the water is raised, the medicinal effects of these semi-finished medicinal materials will be stimulated. After all the semi-finished medicinal materials are added, about 10 minutes have passed. The temperature inside the medicine barrel has risen completely. The medicinal effect of medicinal materials is also exerted. Su Yang could clearly feel the tingling on the surface of the skin. After a period of time, it becomes very comfortable again, and then it feels very itchy, and I really want to scratch it. Li Mansion. At this time, the Li Mansion is still surrounded by white silk. 2 figures stood in front of a coffin. Third brother, don't worry, second brother and big brother will definitely avenge you. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 15 I have been waiting for a long time. Night. Su Yang got up from the medicine barrel. Drops of light green liquid medicine dripped from his body. With the passage of half an hour, most of the medicinal power contained in this barrel of medicinal liquid was absorbed by him, and the remaining residue was useless. Kaka. Crack. Move your muscles and bones a little, and there is a loud bang. Cool. Very straightforward feeling. This is not just the refreshing feeling when the bones are crisp. There is also the comfort of being completely released after enduring for half an hour. This half hour is not easy for Su Yang. The skin is constantly damaged and repaired, which will bring 3 strange sensations of pain, itching, and comfort alternately. Can't move. It is a test of human nature. Fortunately, Su Yang survived. Cultivation is really not easy. But the feeling of physical enhancement is also very addictive. The feeling brought about by the enhancement of physique is more obvious than the enhancement of sword intent. Just one medicated bath, his body has been strengthened by at least 1/3. Although he is still weak and ordinary, he at least sees a way forward. Sighing slightly, Su Yang put on his clothes and walked out of the small pharmacy. In the inner courtyard, Lu Kongshan and Lu Yuro are both present. Taking a glance, he found that Lu Kongshan was instructing Lu Yuro to refine medicine. It's over. Well, it's over, thank you Dr. Lu, I may trouble you later. Master Su, you are welcome. After thanking Su Yang, he walked out of Huichun Hall under the leadership of Lu Kongshan. Back to the street, the sky has long since become dark. It was about 9 o'clock in the evening. Su Yang returned to Chunfeng Hall, although it was midnight, but Zhanghu and others had not finished practicing. Pingshan Town Wutang soldiers all practice iron body kung fu, which is only a 7th rank kung fu method. During the day, they use instruments to beat their bodies to strengthen their physique. If they soak in zhuanggu powder for an hour at night, it will get twice the result with half the effort. This is an external exercise method, and the effect is extremely slow. It takes at least 1 year to practice to the 9th rank, at least 5 years to the 8th rank, and 10 years to start the 7th rank. This still requires a little bit of talent. Those who don't have talent can't get in, and this statistic can also get in. And it is the minimum time, so you can concentrate on practicing martial arts. External training genius, with some training resources to assist, the speed of training will be accelerated. This time is not static. Backing to his courtyard, Suyong washed up and fell asleep. Midnight. 4 figures slowly appeared in the outer courtyard of Chunfeng Hall. 2 of them are strong and wearing loose military uniforms. The 2 of them were slender, wearing turquoise Taoist robes. Disciple, do you want to live or die? Du Yunzi asked his apprentice, that is, the boss of the Li family, Li Qingyan. Li Qingyan said calmly, Master, if you want to live, you can't let him die so easily. Du Yunzi continued, it's easy to say, but I need to trouble fellow Taoist Pang Chen. Pang Chen is the second child of the Li family and the master of Li Pingshan. He is a martial artist with superb martial arts skills and energy-infused liquid. It doesn't get in the way. Let's do it. The apprentice is in trouble. We who are masters, naturally have to help. Pang Chen said in a muffled voice. Du Yunzi nodded, and then saw Du Yunzi cast a spell, and wisps of light green gas floated out of him. It seemed to be alive and flew towards the courtyard. In just a moment, the entire Chunfengtang courtyard was enveloped in light green gas. One by one, the soldiers fell into a coma. After waiting for a while, Du Yunzi felt that it was almost done. He made a tactic with both hands again, and a dark green eyeball was condensed by him. Go! With a low drink, his eyes were about to fly to the courtyard of Chunfengtang. At this moment, a gust of wind suddenly burst out from the courtyard, and countless light green gases were blown away. Another sharp sword intent slashed at the dark green eyes in an instant. With a click, the dark green eyeballs were cut in half and exploded in midair. Ah! Following the dark green eyeballs being chopped off, Du Yunzi covered his left eye, let out a scream, and drops of blood spurted out from between his hands. Master! Are you okay? Li Qingyan was anxious at the side. How could this happen? Who in Pingshan City could hurt his master? Could it be that someone from above has come down? Li Qingyan suddenly thought of a possibility. Go, there is a big horror. Du Yunzi forced himself to hold on to the pain and opened his mouth. The sword just now made him feel the infinite sword intent dormant in the courtyard, and he had already awakened at this time. If you don't leave, I'm afraid you won't be able to leave. Crackling. Su Yong pushed out the door from the courtyard, surrounded by sword intent, like a sword fairy coming to the dust. He has no self-cultivation. After discovering that the sword intent has an early warning effect, he never lacks the sword intent covering his body. The courtyard where he lives is full of sword intent. Since everyone is visiting late at night, it's better not to leave in such a hurry. After all, I have been waiting for you for a long time. Scatter. With a low shout, the sword intent was like a tide, instantly forming a sword intent domain to envelop everyone in it. Pang Chen cultivated martial arts, so he could naturally see the reason. But because he could see the reason, he was even more frightened. Sword intent. Such a powerful sword intent. How is it possible? Pang Chen's back felt cold, his whole body felt as if he had fallen into an ice cave, and the sword intent in front of him had surpassed the 6th grade. What kind of concept? The sword intent alone is enough to obliterate them. Fellow Taoist Pang, don't panic, use all your strength to break the enveloping sword intent and I will live. I don't see any cultivation in this person. Du Yunzi's words made Pang Chen feel alive. Good. The next moment, Pang Chen and Du Yunzi's aura changed. Du Yunzi endured the pain in his body, activated the technique, and wisps of dark green aura emerged from him. Blessed with sincerity in martial arts, Pang Chen drew out the broadsword he was carrying on his back. The two wanted to explode and escape. But in the next second, Su Yong put his fingers together, waved lightly, and said, chop. Shish. The sword intent gathered and turned into a flying sword, which easily cut off the tendons of the two people's arms and legs, broke their dantians, and lost their cultivation. The momentum of the two gathering together suddenly dissipated. What are you tossing about? Can't you catch it with just your hands? Su Yong shook his head, stood there calmly, and looked at the two fallen people. It is not in his character to give the enemy a chance. It can be solved directly, why wait for the enemy to make a move? Despair. Deep despair. Decades of cultivation, nothing in one day. Despair is followed by regret. Why are you here? How can this broken place like Pingshan City be so perverted? Su Yong looked at Li Qingyan and Li Pingshan again. You two young masters of the Li family, I've been waiting for you. What's the meaning? Looking at the smiling Su Yong, Li Qingyan felt a little bad for a moment. Great Shah Allah. Murder of court officials is a crime of ransacking the family and exterminating the genocide. From the very beginning, when Su Yong decided to attack the Li family, everything was already in his calculations. Kill Li Ming. If Li Yijiang reveals his flaws, he can directly ransack the house, but it's a pity that Li Yijiang is a cautious old fox. All those sent to kill him are diehards. Since the Li family's backing is Li Qingyan and Li Pingshan, Su Yong simply waited for them to come back. Waiting for them to do it, everything will be over. No. You can't do this. I didn't murder you. You can't show evidence. Li Qingyan panicked and denied it repeatedly. Evidence. The world doesn't need evidence a lot of the time. I just want to find any reason to destroy the Li family. When you come back, firstly, I want the reason to be more formal, and secondly, I want to kill it cleanly. Su Yang's words made Li Qingyan and Li Pingshan's breathing stagnate, and they looked at Su Yong with horror. They want to fight, to flee. But after a few sounds of sword intent breaking through the air, Li Qingyan and Li Pingshan also followed in the footsteps of their master. At the entrance of the Spring Breeze Hall, 4 figures were limp on the ground. Then a ray of sword intent swept across their bodies, and all the valuables and secret books of exercises were taken into Su Yang's arms. Poison Cloud Technique, Wind Chopping Sword Technique. Although they are all useless things to Su Yong. Fighting monsters without touching corpses, lightning strikes from the sky. It is one thing to use it or not, but it is another thing to touch it. Chapter 16 Confiscation of Property and Extermination of Clan. Pata. Oops, who the fuck, who? A bucket of cold water was poured on Zhonghu's forehead, which woke him up instantly. Even a little angry. Who is so wicked to disturb people's dreams in the middle of the night? Master Su. Rubbing his eyes, Zhonghu lost his composure when he saw the person coming from the door. What the happened again? Zhonghu couldn't help but think of the last prison cell. Wasn't this the scene? Wake up everyone, go to the door and lock those lying on the ground into cells, and then gather in the courtyard and wait for me. Su Yong turned and left after giving instructions. Zhonghu got up and rubbed his head. Why do I fall asleep every time something happens? Get up. Get up, Grandma, all of you are sleeping so soundly after something happened. Walla. Walla. Accompanied by buckets of water, the soldiers who were stunned by the poisonous smoke woke up one by one. Zhonghu took people to the gate of the compound, and couldn't help but gasp when he saw the 4 of them. His eyes widened. Li Qingyan, Li Pingshan and their master. In the early years, he had seen their apprenticeship ceremony, so he naturally recognized their identities. This is a 6th grade warrior and monk. Zhonghu felt unparalleled shock. Su Yong was able to solve Keepin, which was beyond his expectation. Now it is even easier to solve the 6th grade. Judging from the situation at the scene, there are not many traces of fighting at all. It is absolutely one-sided crushing. How strong are their commanders? Take away. Lock them all in the cell. In the compound, all soldiers of the Spring Breeze Hall are assembled. Do you know what happened tonight? No. Very good. Those who murdered the imperial court officials will ransack their families and exterminate their families. Would you like to go to Li's house with me? Su Yang's words made the scene quiet, and he froze in place dumbfounded. It was so sudden and violent that they couldn't react. Willing to listen to the orders of adults. Zhonghu reacted first, followed by the rest of the soldiers. Willing to listen to the orders of adults. Okay. Let's go now. Su Yong waved his hand and walked in the forefront. Followed by hundreds of soldiers. All of them are tall and straight, like swords out of their sheaths. Momentum is a very mysterious thing. These military pawns, who were abandoned in the past, finally have the momentum to move forward. But only a little bit. Maybe crushed at any time. Maybe it will be an indomitable and invincible existence in the future, but it is definitely not now. Tap tat tat. Tap tat tat. Tap tat tat. Surround the Li mansion. There were hurried footsteps on the street. A fire dragon quickly dispersed, covering the entire Li mansion. All possible escape intersections were blocked. Boom. The gate of Li Mansion was kicked open, and two guards with sleepy eyes and fluffy eyes were taken down before they understood what was going on. Li Qingyan from the Li family, Li Pingshan murdered the imperial court official and has been arrested. According to the laws of Daxia, the Li family is now being ransacked and exterminated. Those who resist will be killed without mercy. Zhang Hu took the lead and rushed to the front. Su Yong followed behind unhurriedly. But at the moment of entering the Li mansion, a soaring sword intent emerged from him, and the entire Li mansion was already wrapped in the sword intent. The terrifying sword intent formed a prison without any gaps. When the escapee touches the sword intent, he will naturally feel the horror of the sword intent. Zhang Hu rushed forward with his men and horses, and the Li mansion deserved to be the largest family in Pingshan City. The defense force is sufficient, and the guards of the Li family will appear soon. Everyone, what does this mean? The commander of the guards, the 8th rank martial artist Li Yunsheng blocked the way with a sword, and there were dozens of guards behind him. Zhang Hu was not afraid at all. He said, Li Qingyan, Li Pingshan murdered Master Su, has been captured, the Li family should be exterminated, you want to stop it. Li Yunsheng's heart skipped a beat. This is a serious crime, and Li Qingyan and Li Pingshan have indeed returned, this matter is likely to be true. But just withdraw like this, if the matter is not true, he will be finished. What evidence? My words are evidence, so can I still talk nonsense? Ask again, whether to allow or not, and not allowing is considered the same crime. As soon as Zhang Hu's voice fell, the tense atmosphere suddenly rose. Li Yun was not born as a servant of the Li family, so if he really wanted to confiscate his family and exterminate his family, he would not fall on him. Judging from the current situation, this Zhen Wuxi is really serious. Li Yunsheng waved his hand and asked the guards to step aside with him. Seeing this, Zhang Hu quickly rushed inside. There are quite a lot of people who need to be arrested this time, so we can't delay. The most important ones are Li Yizhang, the head of the Li family, and his 3 wives. Then there are Li Yizhang's 2 younger brothers, their wives, and their offspring. There are 10 people in total. Without the guards to stop him, Zhang Hu rushed in quickly with his men. But soon met with the resistance of the Li family loyalists. A team of die-hard loyalists cultivated by the Li family broke out from the inner courtyard. All of them have rank 9 cultivation bases. At first, Zhang Hu thought it would be a waste of time. But after a few sword intents descended from the sky and instantly killed this group of loyalists, he understood that they would have nothing to do tonight, just deal with some chores. Advance all the way. 9th rank diehard, sword intent instantly kills. A member of the 8th rank Li family, the sword intent instantly abolished his limbs and broke his dantian. Zhang Hu couldn't help looking back when he was taken into custody. I saw Su Yong leisurely walking behind them, and it was only a matter of thought to solve the enemy. At this time, Zhang Hu was also able to perceive Su Yang's terror more clearly. But the more terrifying he is, the more confident he will be as a subordinate. Rush in. Don't let anyone get away. Accompanied by the destructive advancement all the way. The members of the Li family were all arrested soon. The second master of the Li family, Li Yishan. The third master of the Li family, Li Yihai. And their descendants, wives, none of them will be left behind. Finally, Su Yong also came to Li Yizhang. Li Yizhang was in his compound and did not escape. It's not that he doesn't want to. As a 7th rank warrior, he has long felt the sword intent covering the entire Li mansion. Knowing that there is no way to retreat, no way to escape. You've been waiting for my other 2 sons to come back, haven't you? Li Yizhang stared at Su Yong, and said a conjecture. In the courtyard, Zhang Hu and his soldiers surrounded him. Su Yong is at the forefront. Good. You are so ruthless. Although he had already guessed, Li Yizhang was still so angry that he wanted to vomit blood when he heard the answer. To deal with the enemy, we must cut the grass and root out. To deal with the wicked, we must eliminate the evil. From the very beginning, you are a villain. From the time I started, you are my enemy. You said, can I not kill them all, but cut the weeds and root them out? Su Yong spoke slowly, calmly and fiercely, which made people feel chills. That's right. I'm not as skilled as others, and you won. Have I offended you? Or have my Li family offended you? Li Yizhang seemed to resign himself to his fate, and asked with the last bit of reluctance. I only seek justice for the people. After Su Yong finished speaking, the sword Intent descended from the sky, abolishing Li Yizhang's limbs and dantian. PFF ha ha ha, what a good one to seek justice for the people, you can't succeed, you will only die in the face of greater evil in the end. The people need people like you, but people like you won't live long. Chapter 17 Patrol Envoy. I don't live long. Maybe. Su Yong waved his hand indifferently, and asked Zhang to push him down. Send someone to find the county magistrate, and ask him to send someone to coordinate the investigation of the Li family's accounts. Follow the process. Clear. Pingshan City is divided into levels, and it is only a county. Civil officials such as magistrates are responsible for managing household registration, money and food, and some trivial matters in Pingshan City. The Zhengwu Division is a force organization that manages all public security. One article and one military, responsible for different areas. The civil servants in this world are not literati who are powerless. What one cultivates is the power of words, and the manifestation of artistic conception of various words is still very powerful. There are countless literary powers, and sometimes in special matters, the literary power far exceeds the martial arts power. Martial arts depend on hard work. Wen Dao depends on diligence and understanding. Xian Daoqin, enlightenment, and spiritual roots are indispensable. Among the three powers, martial arts is the easiest to get started, but if you want to go to the top, you also need understanding. The only difference is the ease of getting started. So the warriors are the most numerous in this world. Wen Dao is called Confucianism, and Confucianism cultivators are mostly officials. Cultivating immortals. Only with spiritual roots can you enter this gate. About a few minutes. Su Yong saw Lu Yue, the county magistrate who hurriedly brought people over. Slender, with a refined temperament, the breath of a scholar blows towards his face. Even if he walks in a hurry, his posture is still dignified. Master Su, you have done a great thing quietly. Lu Yue was calm on the surface, but his heart was already turbulent. When Su Yu was in power, he was like an old salted fish. He didn't do anything and had no temper, but his son Su Yong had the appearance of a potential dragon. He was paying attention to the whole thing from the beginning. At first, he thought it was just a simple ignorant young man, so just bury it. As a result, the entire Li family was brought down in less than 7 days. To put it bluntly, Li Ming has not passed the first 7 days. What made him most curious was how Su Yang's strength came from. Without making a sound, he was already standing on the top of Pingshan City. Su Yong smiled lightly and said, Master Lu, I still need your help. Lu Yue smiled. It should. The next step is to seize the entire Li mansion. All books, properties, and valuables are temporarily sealed. Wait until all statistics are completed. Give to the Li family workers what should be given to the Li family workers, and return to the people what should be returned to the people. The last remaining property of the Li family was confiscated. Among them, 10% belonged to the magistrate's government, and 70% went to the treasure house of the town's military commander, confiscated, and used for military soldiers to practice in the future. The last 20% belongs to the members of this operation, that is, it is distributed by Su Yong. Of course, there must be a reasonable reason for this kind of ransacking and extermination, and there will be people above to prove it later. The Li family's property is huge, and it is impossible to count it for a day or two. Su Yong also asked Zhang to stare at him, but he himself didn't plan to take care of it, and waited for the final result. So he said hello, and then left here, ready to go back to sleep. Staying up late is bad for your health. How can an ordinary person like him stay up late? Smiling haha, Su Yong walked on the street going back. Halfway through the journey, a voice suddenly sounded. Master Su is very elegant, with such a leisurely posture, it is completely impossible to tell that he just ransacked the family and exterminated the family. At the corner ahead, a figure stood tall. Oh, what advice do you have? Su Yong narrowed his eyes and looked at people. This man has a very familiar aura. A few days ago when Li He came to assassinate him, this man was outside his courtyard. In the past few days, he also feels a sense of prying eyes from time to time. Probably this person. Let me introduce myself, Tianfeng County Patrol Agent, Zhang Lang. Zhang Lang walked in from a distance, and then said, My duty is to search for talents who are suitable to be inspectors. Tianfeng County, the superior of Pingshan City, manages 18 county-level cities, large and small, including Pingshan City. Then I don't know why Mr. Zhang stopped me in the middle of the night, what's your business? Su Yang remained calm. Naturally, I fell in love with Mr. Su. Su Yang looked weird, but Zhang Lang didn't care and continued. I have seen the whole story of Mr. Su's rectification of the Li family. The inspector needs an upright and capable person like Mr. Su. This is the recommendation letter from the inspector of Tianfeng County. With this letter, you can go to Tianfeng County, Zhenwu Division for the inspection of the inspector on June 15. After passing the assessment, you can be the inspector of Tianfeng County. Su Yang held the letter in his hand and said, "What power does the inspector have? I have never heard of this position before." This position sounds awesome, but Su Yang recalled that his predecessor had no memory of this at all. This position was newly established not long ago, and it hasn't been completely perfected yet. Otherwise, things like this in the Li family in Pingshan City might not have happened. A county will recruit 30 to 50 patrol envoys, who are not allowed to enter unless they are of the 5th grade. There will be a first-level general patrol envoy, a second-level patrol envoy in the east, west, north, south, and 4 directions, and a third-level supervisory envoy. Sitting in the county town, patrolling the 4 directions, receiving reports from the people, and being supervised by the people. Up to the county seat, down to the county seat, the town's military division can be dispatched to cooperate with the case. Zhang Lang informed the patrol envoy's identity and rights word by word. Su Yang was even moved when he heard the words. For him, it would be very beneficial for him to sit on the status of patrol envoy. Let's talk about the will of all beings first. It seems that the bigger the official, the bigger the scope that can be covered. He is only an official of Pingshan City now, so he can only see the will of all beings in Pingshan City. If his power covers the entire Tianfeng County, then maybe he can see the will of all beings in the entire Tianfeng County. The higher the status, the better he can fulfill his beliefs. This inspection makes the identity need to do the same thing as he believes. In this way, how can there be any reason to refuse? Very good, I don't know how to do the position of chief inspector. Su Yang said that he was very satisfied with this position. Zhang Lang. Master Su is very brave. The chief inspector of the county must be a 3rd rank. Since the status is beyond the Zhenwu Sea, the force must be high enough. Su Yang nodded calmly to express his understanding. Zhang Lang frowned when he saw it, and his mood was complicated for a while. So the quartet patrol envoy needs a 4th grade cultivation. That's right, if Mr. Su is strong enough, there is nothing he can do. There are many vacancies for patrol envoys, and the task is heavy, so I will withdraw first. Zhang Lang left quietly after saying a word. He had a strange figure and a good grasp of body skills. He was not in the domain of sword intent, and Su Yang couldn't perceive the depth. Is it possible to be the chief inspector with a 3rd rank cultivation? The assessment starts on the 15th of June, and now on the 3rd day of June, there are still 12 days left. I don't know if I can make the sword intent reach the 3rd rank. No. I missed one thing. Just using the sword intent can only exert 1/10 of the power. If you condense the sword move, the power will be increased by 10 times. Yes, work hard, if you can set up a general inspector, dang, it seems to be good. Su Yang put the letter in his arms and set off on the return journey again. In any case, this inspection made him sure. This night, Li Mansion was brightly lit. The night is driven away by fire. The people living around didn't know why at first, and thought it was dawn. In a daze, he scolded the Li family for a few things, and made such a battle in the middle of the night. It's great to have money, and if you have money, you can burn firewood casually, and you are a cow. After they understood a little bit, the drowsiness and sleepiness receded like a tide. The Li mansion was ransacked. Chapter 18 My Will is the Sword. Early morning. The fact that Li's house was ransacked swept through the entire Pingshan City like a spring breeze, and the whole Pingshan City had already known the news before the morning passed. The Li family has too many properties, spread all over the Pingshan City, and there are many seizures. You only need to understand a little bit to understand what happened. On this day, there were countless people who chanted Lord Su Yang. It can be said that Su Yang's reputation in Pingshan City has reached its peak. Loved by the people of Pingshan City. If it weren't for the soldiers of Chunfeng Hall, the threshold would be broken by grateful people. As for the person who did this big thing that made the whole Pingshan City boil and cheer. At this time, he was swinging a sword in the courtyard. The white gas above Pingshan City has been reduced by 90%, and the remaining amount cannot be forced. After what he did last night was fully exposed, things developed as he expected. The white gas over Pingshan City subsided, and he once again obtained the will of 6 living beings. Now he has 15 wisps of the will of sentient beings in his hands. So he can already create his own sword moves. He has already studied the process of using the will of sentient beings to create sword moves. For example, the sword moves he creates are limited to the level of sword intent, and his LV12 sword intent can only consume 12 wisps of sentient will to create a LV12 sword move. But after his sword intent reaches LV13, he can also add a ray of sentient will to raise his sword move to LV13. Don't be afraid that the sword moves you create now will be wasted if you don't use them later. This is an excellent thing for him. The sword moves created by the sword intent are extremely malleable. It can be said that Su Yang can create whatever he wants. Sword moves that can track down the enemy, sword moves that can change the environment, sword moves that can attack in a wide range, and sword moves with special artistic conception. To put it simply, whatever Su Yang thinks, the sword moves will be like that. But there is one thing, the more functions the sword move has, the less powerful it will be. So if you want powerful sword moves, don't do anything fancy. While thinking, Su Yang already had an idea. Can you make a sword move that strengthens your body? After all, sword intent is so malleable. Su Yang tried to think this way, and soon he got the result. No way. It's not because of the sword intent. It is because the will of the sentient beings is not enough, it is because his body is lacking, and to want that kind of sword move requires more will of the sentient beings. Well, it seems that the temporary sword move to strengthen the body is in vain. Then follow the normal thinking. His first sword move must be powerful. If he needs any special functions, he will think about it later. He came to this world like a meteor, trying to use his own weak flame to dispel the darkness covering the people of this world. This first sword uses starlight as the blade and fire as the tip. Created with 12 strands of the will of sentient beings. Named Spark. Closing his eyes, Su Yang thought about the appearance and name of his first sword move. The next moment, the will of all beings in his mind began to decrease. A magical force allowed Su Yang to see the whole process of making sword moves. The will of all living beings transformed into the sword move that Su Yang wanted. The starlight is the body of the sword, and the light of fire is the tip of the sword. The body of the sword is like a dark universe in the sky, with stars shining in it, and the fire in front is the most glaring. Sword move Xingwo, success. With a few moments of kung fu, the sword moves were condensed. Su Yang's **** are swords, and the sword will burst out all over his body, and the sword will come out of his dantian. Om. Chunfengtang, a loud and clear sword sound resounded. Sound waves spread like water waves. Zhang Hu, a military soldier, and the visiting people stopped and looked in the direction of the sound of the sword. That's where Mr. Su is. Is this the sound of a sword? That's right. But why is there such a huge movement? Nonsense, that's Lord Su Yang. In the courtyard, Su Yang had already been wrapped in sword intent, and the stronger sword intent gathered at his fingertips. The sword move has been formed and must be played, with **** swipe to the sky. The sword intent that had been compressed to the extreme found a breakthrough at this time. The beginning of the sword, Starfire. Break. Sword intention casts sword moves follow my will. A huge sword composed of sword intent shot up from the courtyard. The tip of the sword was burning with a flash of fire, and the blade was dark with starlight. This sword cuts through the sky and tears the clouds with the posture of breaking bamboo. The cloud layer over 1,000 meters was divided into 2 halves by this sword. The clouds are torn, and the blue sky can be seen through the cracks. The sword intent receded and the sun shone. Su Yang let out a breath slowly, it was a breath of stale air suppressed in his heart. After spitting it out, it seemed that the whole person was much more relaxed. It seems to be saying goodbye to the past and let go of the past life. Seems to be welcoming a new life in this world. Su Yang's sword moved very loudly. It was very big. It was so big that the people of Pingshan City could see it. This sword is so powerful that it can change the sky. It stands to reason that people who see it will not say trembling, but they will also be in awe. The people of Pingshan City did not feel this way. They only felt that someone was holding up a torch in the darkness, and someone was tearing the darkness with a sword. Chop the haze that hangs over their heads. Let the sun shine on them again. This sword must have been cut by Master Su. No one saw that this sword was cut by Su Yang. But the people in Pingshan City seemed to have seen it again. Zhang Lang, who had already left Pingshan City for an unknown distance, seemed to have a feeling in his heart. Looking towards Pingshan City from a mountain path. It was just a glance, but he was frozen in place by what he saw. A good sword. A good sword uses the body as fire to tear through the darkness. This kind of artistic conception of swordsmanship requires a lot of determination to realize. The posture of Qianlong, this is the Qianlong that the people need. Not for fame, not for profit, but for the common people and all beings. What a talent. When we meet in the future, we should treat him with courtesy. Zhang Lang stopped in the mountains, bowed his head, raised his hands on his chest, and solemnly saluted. Then he turned around and set foot on the journey again to complete his mission. Chunfengtang, the inner courtyard. Su Yang was not only disturbed by the outside world. After he swung his sword, he devoted himself to the daily sword swing practice again. There was no noise in the inner courtyard, only the sound of sword after sword piercing the air. Not sharp, not special, not very profound. It's just a simple swing of the sword. It's not the so-called back to basics. He, Su Yang, is doing what a sword learner does at the beginning. Many soldiers in the outer court were still silent in the power of the sword just now. It wasn't until they heard the sound of the sword being swung in the inner courtyard again that they brought their thoughts back to reality again. The practice of iron body skill started again. Seems to work harder than before. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, 3 days have passed. For 3 days, Su Yang swung his sword every day and went to Huichun Hall to take a medicinal bath. With the improvement of his physique, the number of times he can swing a sword per day has increased to 8,000 swords. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword Intent LV10 2111 14 thousandths. Sword Move Starfire LV10. Will of all beings. 1. The sword Intent has been upgraded to LV10, and the sword moves have also been upgraded by him. How strong he is now, he himself can't judge. This place is too small, and he has never seen a master or a strong man, so he naturally cannot compare. In 3 days, the statistics of the Li family's property have been completed. Now Zhonghu and others are waiting for him to check and accept. After confirming that they are correct, it is time to share the money. I have to say that according to Zhonghu, the silver taels exceeded 300,000. No wonder the ancients were so interested in ransacking homes. Especially copying the homes of rich businessmen and corrupt officials is of great interest. Even if Su Yang is not very interested in money, he still has some expectations at this time. Chapter 19 Sword Intent LV18. Master Su, according to statistics, the total value of the Li family's property is 375,320 taels of silver, of which the current silver is 121,110 taels. Pingshan City Lord Bo told the statistics. In the Li family compound, all the important members of Pingshan City gathered here. County Magistrate Lu Yue, Commander of Zhengwu Division Zhang Ziwu, other subdistrict commanders. There are many people gathered. There is only one protagonist, and that is Su Yang. In today's Pingshan City, Su Yang's opinion is more important than anyone else. Well, no problem. The Li family real estate can conduct an internal auction, and the reserve price can be 30% lower than the market price, but it can only compete internally. After internal consumption, throw it out and sell it to other vendors. The cash and silver will be divided first according to the rules. What do you guys think? After carefully looking at the account book, after confirming that there was no problem, Su Yang raised his eyebrows. Although it's an idea, who has any opinions? No problem. Yes, under Master Su's arrangement. Glanced around, there was no voice of objection. Things are settled like this. Su Yong gets 20%, and now the silver is divided, there are more than 20,000 taels. 100 taels of silver is enough for an ordinary family to live in style for a year. More than 20,000 taels is a huge sum of money in this era. Su Yong put it away first, and later he planned to give some of it to his subordinates. No matter how you say it, you are messing with yourself, and you still have to give what should be given. This is just a small head, the big head is the property of the Li family, and after all are sold, there will be a lot of money. After the division is completed, the following days will be relatively ordinary. Su Yong is practicing. The soldiers of Chunfeng Hall are also practicing. Because of the influence of Chunfengtang, several other streets began to deal with cases and became busy. After the entire Pingshan city fell with the fall of the Li family, the haze that shrouded Pingshan city was dispelled. Zhonghu successfully broke through the 8th rank after practicing for a few days. This made Su Yang's subordinates finally have a slightly available person. As for Su Yang, during this period of time, I lived a very regular life. Practice sword during the day and soak in medicinal bath at night. In the twinkling of an eye, the time came to the night of June 13th, and tomorrow Su Yang will set off for the county. The assessment time is June 15th, but you have to prepare in advance to avoid delays. Pingshan City is some distance away from the county town. It takes 3 days to walk, and it only takes 3 hours to ride the Qingfeng horse. Qingfengma is a monster that has entered the 9th rank. In Pingshan City, only Junwusi is equipped. Su Yang is naturally qualified to ride. This night, Su Yang came to Hui Chuntang as usual, and walked into the familiar pharmacy. It was just that when he was about to take off his clothes habitually and enter the medicine barrel, he suddenly realized that something was wrong. In the past, Lu Kongshan prepared it in the pharmacy, but today it was a different person. Su Yang hurriedly buttoned back the half-unbuttoned clothes. But Lu Yuro, who turned around, still saw it. Lu Yuro calmly explained. Master Su, don't mind, there is no gender in front of doctors. Yeah, Su Yang complained a little. Miss Lu, why are you here today? That's how it is. Lu Yuro explained. Someone in a family suffered from a serious illness, and my grandfather rushed over to treat him. I also learned how to make medicine from my grandfather, so today the matter of making a medicine bath for Mr. Su fell on me. So, I will also be responsible for adding firewood halfway. Seeing Lu Yuro's proficient appearance, Su Yang didn't think much about it. That's it, it's okay. Doctors don't care about gender, only how to improve their health. Since Ms. Lu is also a doctor, I'll start. As he spoke, Su Yang began to undress again. Seeing this, Lu Yuro felt her heart pounding, and hurriedly said, Master Su, the preparations have been completed, you soak it first, and I will buy more firewood later. After speaking, Lu Yuro hurried out. No matter how much she brainwashed herself, she was still untouched after all. How could she remain calm in this scene? The corners of Su Yang's mouth could not help but rise. Little girl, still pretend to be old-fashioned. No matter how you say, he has experienced some things that should be experienced. Take off your clothes and enter the medicine barrel. From now on, Lu Yuro will come in to buy more firewood every once in a while. Then he left quickly, but he did his duty conscientiously. Su Yang saw all this. Su Yang didn't think much about this, and absorbed the power of the medicine with peace of mind. After the medicated bath was over, Su Yang thanked him as usual. Thank you Miss Lu today. Thank you Dr. Lu. You're welcome, you're welcome. Lu Yuro waved her hands repeatedly. Su Yang smiled and left. Seeing Su Yang walking away, Lu Yuro finally stopped suppressing her emotions, exhaled a heavy breath, and her flustered little heart began to calm down. However, the image of Su Yang in the medicine barrel still pops up in his mind from time to time. Unfortunately, only one head leaked out. By the way, what does it look like underwater? Girl, what are you doing at the door? Lu Kongshan walked leisurely from the side, looking at his granddaughter with a smile. Grandpa, you are back, what a coincidence. Muttering something, Lu Yuro seemed to think of something again, and instantly went crazy. Grandpa, did you do it on purpose? Being old and disrespectful, I will pull your beard. Hey, what are you doing? Why did Grandpa do it on purpose? Lu Kongshan said kindly. I did it on purpose. After nearly half a month of immersion, his physique has been greatly enhanced. Now the medicated bath has very weak effect on him. If he simply swung the sword, he could already swing 10,000 swords a day without any damage to his body. It can be said to be a great improvement. His sword intent has also been raised to LV18 after this period of time. Open black lens bracket Tianqian sword close black lens bracket. Sword intent. LV18 12/18 thousandths. Sword move. Starfire LV15. Will of all beings. 0. It's a pity that the will of all beings is not enough, and the sword moves can only reach LV15. His sword intent can instantly kill rank 6 when his sword intent is LV12. Now that LV18 is equivalent to what level he has completely lost count. From the point of view of perception, the sword intent in his Dantian will increase by several tenths for every level of sword intent. 5th grade is definitely not his opponent. The strength must be above the 5th rank, as for the 4th rank, it is still above the 4th rank. He is not very sure. But in his heart, he felt that if counting the sword moves, even if he was not above the 4th rank, he could still kill at the 4th rank. The lower 3 ranks 9 to 7 focus on strength and energy, the middle 3 ranks 6 to 4 comprehend the artistic conception and mix it in the moves, and the upper 3 ranks 3 to 1 integrate the artistic conception into the moves. This is a general strength estimate and category. Genius is out of this list. Su Yang is also not listed here. But he can also refer to references. After estimating his own strength, Su Yang pondered and said, forget it. If you can't be the chief inspector, let's make a 4-way inspector. Su Yang felt that it would be fine for him to lower his requirements a little bit. Chief inspector, it's okay to ask for another dang when he is strong enough. In this world, positions are all fictitious, and one's own strength is real. Sufficient strength. What position do you want? Would the emperor dare not give it? Chapter 20 Tianfeng County. Master Su, this is the Qingfeng horse, and the 40,000 taels of silver notes are converted from the property of the Li family and belong to the Lord. Thank you. Beside the magistrate's yamen, Su Yang took the bank note and a Qingfeng horse handed over by the master Bo. This breeze horse, generally only the magistrate can ride it. But when Su Yang asked to borrow it, Lu Yue did not refuse, and gave it enthusiastically. Su Yang took the Qingfeng horse and wanted to step on it, but who knew that the Qingfeng horse still had a temper, so he wouldn't let it swing. Master Su, this Qingfeng horse has a stubborn temper, you should tame it before riding it. Zhu Bo hurriedly opened his mouth. Understood, you go to work, I can handle it. No. The master Bo heard the words, and retreated. In his opinion, Su Yang is so powerful that a mere Qingfengma can be easily tamed. Although Su Yang's physical fitness has been strengthened by medicinal baths, he is a little stronger than ordinary people, but he is still not as good as the 9th grade monster Qingfengma. This made Su Yang a little helpless, and he didn't know how much will it would take to create a sword move that could strengthen the body. He tried it before, because of his special body. 15 wisps of sentient beings could not create a sword move that strengthened his body. But as long as all beings have enough will, this kind of sword move can be forged. Also, if the sentient beings have enough will, he can also create the move of flying with the sword, so that there is no need for legs to travel. It's a pity that the will of all living beings is not enough. Shaking his head to shake off the messy thoughts in his mind. Look at Qingfengma again. Hey, if you don't know me well, I will cook you well. Su Yang concentrated on his sword intent and stroked Qingfengma's head. Qingfengma, who was still somewhat rebellious at first, froze suddenly, then tilted his head affectionately, and rubbed against Su Yang. Ha ha. Not bad, it seems that you are very sensible. Su Yang was very satisfied, and he jumped on the Qingfeng horse easily. Drive. Let's go. Su Yang clamped his legs, and rode Qingfeng Ma Su Yang out of Pingshan City. Ride the horse and run wildly on the road, feeling the breeze blowing on your face. This feeling is very comfortable, making people feel happy and relaxed. Halfway through the journey, a funeral procession suddenly appeared. Suona, white paper, wearing linen and filial piety, weeping and choking. This made Su Yang's relaxed and happy mood subside instantly. When you see this kind of thing, you still have to be serious and in awe. Su Yang walked around, but only found out when he walked to the side. The funeral procession was very long, a full 100 meters in length, and 7 coffins were carried among them. It's a bit weird to be true. Su Yong frowned, and rode away from the side. Apart from this incident, nothing strange happened on the road. 3 hours later, he rode a Qingfeng horse to the gate of Tianfeng County. This big place is different. Just looking at the city gate has a sharp contrast. The gates of their Pingshan city, compared to this, are as simple as playing house. The flow of people here is even greater. 2 long dragons come in and out. There are merchant teams, and there are common people who go out. If you line up, you will have to wait for a long time. Fortunately, Su Yong can take the internal passage. Show the officer's order and enter the city easily. In this era, no one will make irresponsible remarks. He can enjoy some privileges, which are normal treatment, so why avoid suspicion? Entering Tianfeng County, Su Yong casually found a restaurant that was closer to the inspection department. Inspection department is the name of the inspector department. She was pregnant with 50,000 taels of silver bills, and she couldn't spend them all. After opening the best room to live in, she gave Shower a reward. Ma Ji Yu is good, otherwise. The only thing you can do is ask. Don't worry, the official, this horse definitely eats better than me. Shower has sharp eyesight, and the Qingfeng horse is not something that ordinary people can ride even in Tianfeng County. It is exactly noon at this time. Su Yong simply ordered some food in the store. There were a lot of people in this store. Su Yong sat down and looked around before the food arrived. I really found something. He doesn't care about people who gossip. But some of them have a calm breath and a tall and straight figure. You can tell at a glance that they have practiced martial arts and have learned something. There aren't many people like this, and since it's so close to the inspection department, it's likely that, like him, they came to participate in the assessment. One of them caught Su Yang's attention. That is definitely an old man over half a century old. His aura is restrained and cannot be seen deep, but the traces of martial arts cannot be concealed. Especially when Su Yong looked at the other party also saw him. The two looked at each other. The other party smiled and nodded with Su Yong. Su Yong also returned a salute. This can also be regarded as a nodding acquaintance. Looking around, it may be that the old man is the oldest among the competitors in the assessment. Looking at that appearance, he should be close to 70 years old, right? Is it because I can't take it easy, or is the patrol envoy attractive enough? But he doesn't need to think about this kind of thing, he still can't control how others choose. It is even more difficult to control whether the inspectors accept the elderly. And this is not an ordinary world. Judging people by their appearance is the most inappropriate. Su Yong secretly warned himself. After a meal, Su Yong walked out of the restaurant and walked towards the inspection department not far away. Just a few steps away, a voice came from beside him. Little friend, are you also planning to join the inspection department? Su Yong looked back, and saw the old man who just stared at him. Yes, you too. The old man nodded and said, yes, I didn't want to come at first, but I couldn't bear the persuasion of the younger generation. Although I am a little old, it should be useful. Su Yong replied, you are always joking, the elder is a teacher, if I become a colleague in the future, maybe I will need you to support me a lot. The old man smiled and said, let's go, first submit the recommendation letter, tomorrow is the assessment, don't miss it, I wonder what position you plan to take. I'm not afraid of your old jokes. Before I came here, I thought about whether I would have the opportunity to be the chief inspector, but now it's better to do it according to my own strength. The chief inspector will wait until the strength is enough. Su Yong didn't mind. Chat with this person. Being with this old man, Su Yong felt very comfortable. Some people may be born with a good impression. Okay, there's nothing wrong with a young man having Ling Yunji. The old man seemed to be very much in the same mood as Su Yong, and he didn't maintain his identity in his speech, it was more like an exchange of peers. The two walked forward while talking. The old man knew that Su Yong was the envoy from Pingshan City. Su Yong also knew that the old man's name was Han Chu, and he came from Beiwang. Beiwang is not very far from here, but it takes half a month to ride a Qingfeng horse. Although it was strange, Su Yong didn't ask too much. Walk into the gate of the inspection department. At this time, there are only a few officials in the inspection department, who are responsible for registration. The current inspection department does not have a formal member. After all, this is a brand new organization, and the assessment has not yet started, and no one has been recruited. Name: Su Yang. Assessment position: 4 directions inspector. The registration official took a serious look at Su Yang, and said, "Do you know that the Sifang patrol envoy needs a 4th rank strength?" Su Yang nodded. The official nodded, calm on the surface, but a little surprised in his heart. Without him, Su Yang is too young, his face is only around 18. At this age, I am afraid it is another heir. After Su Yang completed the registration, he went out, and then Han Chu walked in again. Name: the official was about to speak, but suddenly stopped when he saw the person coming. Hastily stood up and saluted. "Your Majesty has met Mr. Han." "Yeah." Han Chu nodded. "What was the assessment that kid registered just now?" "My lord, the quartet inspectors." The official replied quickly. "Well, I went in first, you were busy." Han Chu looked at the direction where Su Yang left, and secretly said, "Interesting boy, what exactly did you practice?" "There is no air of recklessness, no air of Confucianism, no air of misty, but it makes me feel scared. This inspection department is really interesting. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories, and never miss out on a great listen.